Give you guys an opportunity to get up in here. Blessings, family. Make sure y'all see my dimple. But blessings to everybody. Give y'all a chance to get up in. Blessed man to be here one more time. Hold on. About to speak about this game. What's going on, Ken? Blessings, bro. Hold on. There we go. Now I can really see you. Let me pause this. Make sure that you share this. Man, I told you, you're going to have to come back on another channel, man. You can't come in with that type of name and be in my comment section. You could get away with it, you know what I mean, in other people's comment section, but no, we're not going to, just have foolishness up in here. Hit that like button right now. Come on, man. Hit that like button the moment that you came in. The moment that you saw this game, you know that you were supposed to hit the like button. Let me make sure this focusing. There you go. Hold on, let me spread this. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Let's get to it. A lot of you guys, you know what I mean, like the way I gave a review on Pimp Hose Down, and you've been asking for American Pimp, but I couldn't just give you anything. I had to make sure that certain things was right. So I talked to a few people to make sure, because there's been a lot of falsified information, put out there, things that wasn't true. So I want to give some truth about that as well. There we go. But how y'all doing today, man? Talk to me. We have to hit that like button, because the more likes, that's going to bring more people in here. And you already know this is going to be a classic. When have I ever done a week live, especially about the game? Come on, man. We talking about American Pimp, man. We talking about the best documentary that's ever been done about the lifestyle of pimping and hoeing right now, man. So for those that's authentic and truly in it, man, right now, man, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Top of it, Musa. Hold on, let me do this for my brother. Bam, there you go. Me and my little, you feel me, going to this Halloween party. How's the fam doing? Oh, man, blessings, man. Obtaining and maintaining, David. What's going on there? On top of it, man. I told you, you can't come in here doing that. When I start talking, whenever you guys see to my mods, you got my permission. Whenever you see Keisha's name mentioned, smell like assholes and all of that, you know what I mean, man. This game is to be taken serious, man. Get all that foolishness out of the comment section. The same way when you see a minister or a speaker speak and everybody get a full divided attention, they don't sit up there, you understand me, and be doing this and doing that and got foolishness and comedy over here. No, we giving all of our, attention to the game. Okay, hold on. Oh, you hit me at the wrong time? Well, you got my number. You can get at me whenever, bro. What's going on, Brother Cole? There you go. Brother Cole then came up in here. Blessings to him. What's going on, Coop? But I wanted to give you guys time to get up in here, because when I start, you know how I am. You know how the pimping be. You know what I mean? As soon as I start, I'm gonna get rolling, man. And so let's get it up in here, man. Let's get them likes up. It's already 155 big head motherfuckers up in here, man. Y'all hit that like button, hit the share button, share this, get this out. Just like I gave what was right with Pimps Up Hoes Down, and I also gave you what was wrong. I'm gonna do the same thing with American Pimp. Now, matter of fact, let me change this. I'm glad I caught that. Let me edit this title right quick. Because reality is that I'm not going to be able to finish the whole film tonight. Maybe if I come back, but probably tomorrow. So we're going to do different parts with this. Because there were so many messages within American Pimp. I'm not shitting on Pimps Up, Hoes Down. But the truth is, it wasn't on the same level. Okay? First of all, it was done by the Hughes brothers. That's just for itself. Let me put this in. But you know, when you first see a film, you like, wow, man, that was some cold game. And some of you, now that I have reviewed Pimps Up Hoes Down, at first, a lot of you saw it as a classic. But after I showed you this and showed you that, no, it was not it wasn't a classic at all. But if it wasn't for Pimps Up Hoes Down, we wouldn't even have all these other films and a lot of other things that's going on around here either. So I'm thankful in a way that that foolishness did come out because it exposed a lot. Okay, there we go. Bam. I'm gonna act like I didn't see one person's comment. Maybe they high or drunk or something. I'm just gonna go over that. You know, we say things that's foolish at times. Make sure you don't make too many foolish comments within my comment section. Otherwise, I have the brothers. You know what I mean? Definitely, yeah. I see Brother Ken and got you. Don't ever say no dumbass shit like that in my comment section. That's for them other guys. Don't ever say no fugazi, lame ass shit like that in my comment section. Otherwise, the brothers will see you to the door. Greetings channel. Damn, I'm late. No, I haven't even got started, bro. I was actually given enough time. Good looking, Jabron. Jabron already starting things off with the 20 top of it. P, have a good day, P. Thank you, man. Mike Larry then came up in here with the 199. Good looking, man. Y'all must want me to finally be able to get those nice little dress shoes I seen in Payless, man, that I was acting like I didn't want. I had to wait till everybody wasn't looking, man, so I can grab them, man. Man, good looking, man. Y'all keep blessing me like that. I'm gonna be able to shop at Payless, you know what I mean, real soon. Thank you, man. Thank you. Mike Set came up in here with fam. Blessings to everybody. Yeah, yes, lead his foolishness at the front door. Correct. Now, before I get into the film, I want to tell you that a lot of people say a lot of negative things, you know what I mean, about American Pimp, how after the film, you know, a lot of people basically went to jail and they went to prison and all of that. But what I want you guys to understand that, okay, because everybody bring out the consequences, but let me say this. If it had not been for American Pimp, a lot of people wouldn't even had a desire to pimp. Okay? Some people only had a desire to participate in the lifestyle of pimping and hoeing because of the damn film. Okay? And if some people had never gotten to the game, the lifestyle of pimping and hoeing, they wouldn't even be alive right now. If they would have continued gang banging and, you know, being in the street and other lanes and things like that, they would end up eventually getting killed. They would have been dead by now. So we talk about, you know, how American Pimp influenced a lot of impressionable minds to participate in things that they didn't really have the capabilities or information to get involved in. But reality is certain individuals were saved by this game. And if it had not been for this game, a lot of individuals would be dead right now. Okay? So, if you're going to talk about the consequences, got to talk about the blessings too. If you're going to talk about the negativity, got to talk about the positivity as well. And a lot of the guys that you see today that's pimping, they're not going to say it out their mouth, but a lot of individuals got influenced to want to be in the game because of American Pimp. If it had not been for American Pimp, a lot of the guys that you see today, they would have had never been in the game. So, you know what I mean? I'm just letting that be known. Hold on for a minute. Let me share this on Instagram. I don't want nobody to be like, oh, damn, man, I wish I could have called it live. I wish I could have called it live. That's why you have to subscribe. That's why you got to hit that bell button. So whenever I go live, you get the notifications. And you have to share these videos because you have to understand that I'm not like the other YouTubers. I'm talking about pimping and hoeing. Okay? I'm talking about the game. Yeah, I talk about other subjects. You know what I mean? But everybody know how this channel got built. What it was building. It was built off of the game. The foundation is the game. So they're not going to push my notifications out there the way that they would push everybody else's. My notifications ain't going to show up, on time like everybody else's. So the only way we're going to continue to grow is the way we got here in the first way. The reason why we 32,000 subscribers strong is not because of Sinful The P. We that way because of you guys sharing my videos. That's how we got like this. We got the way we are now because of people like Robin and Helena and, Jay, Goldie, different ones, David, sharing the video. That's how we got like this. And we gonna grow by you guys sharing. You guys got to share. Hold on for a minute. Live on YouTube. Click on the link. There we go. All right. Now I'm ready. But before I begin, come on, man. It's 241 people. Hit the like button. Come on, we should have been towards 200 likes by now. The more likes we get, the more recommendations we'll have for this video, man. H to the B, supporting the Payless Shoe Fund. Thank you, man. Lord knows I need new shoes. I got holes in my shoes and things. Come on now. Thank you coming in with the $199. Boy, y'all keep coming in here with the foolishness. But at least you broke yourself. It is what it is. American Pimp, I remember Payroll having a podcast. Wonder what happened to him. We'll get into all of that later. But blessings to all of the ladies. I appreciate you guys for being here. But it's time to get into it. Now, before I walk you through the film about what was right and what was wrong, Brandon Neal came in here with the 50, man. I've been waiting on this for a long time. Will, thank you, man. Derek coming in here with the 20. Been waiting for this review. Sinful, continue to be blessed. And everyone as well, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. You guys really, man, y'all really don't want me to wear my Pro Wings and my Payless shoes, man. Goddamn, man. I was really saving up my money for my BK Diamond sales and shit. Y'all really want me to step my game up. Droney coming in here with the 50, man. I appreciate, man. Y'all just showering this game, man. I appreciate all of that. Hold on. You know what I mean? Thank you, man. You guys really coming in here with this game. But I have to get to it now. Now watch this. The way that the film got started, if you remember when I had Bud. Now let me say this too before I get started. That it doesn't matter what type of misunderstanding that I had with other individuals. Okay, I can't allow myself. See, this is part of being a man. If you got into it with an individual from a film or something, you can't allow your misunderstanding to hinder you from conveying the truth about that individual or something that transpired in times past. Another bone from Henderson NC Talker P. Thank you, Jabron, coming in here with the 20, man. Thank you, bro. But you know what I mean? You got to push that to the side. So even though, me and Bud and different ones had a misunderstanding, one thing you won't see me doing is lying on individuals. A roasting is a roasting, but when it's time to, keep it honest as far as the film, you're going to get that from me. Now, the Hughes brothers wanted to do a movie about, pimping. I mean, a documentary on pimping. But what you guys didn't know is it was actually supposed to just be a comedy. It wasn't supposed to even be that serious. Okay? It was never supposed to be that serious. American Pimp was supposed to be a comedy. It was supposed to basically be put out there to basically make you guys laugh at pimps, to give you a funny, comical, negative narrative about us and have you laughing. Before Rosebud came in the picture, the Hughes brothers, the only people that they had really was Bishop Don Magic Wand, and they also had the general. They had the general, and they had Bishop Don Magic Wand. Okay? Yes, American Pimp, when it first was brought out, it wasn't for it to be, oh man, I love that film, I love that. No, it wasn't supposed to be that. Man, K-Red, and no, it wasn't supposed to be that. It's supposed to put out something for you guys to laugh at us and just laugh at the lifestyle, laugh at the culture. Excuse me, not my YouTube having that. You know what I mean? Thank you, man, coming in. G said coming up in here with that 10, bro. Thank you, man. Keep us lacing. I will by the power of this game. But that's what it was. It was supposed to be put out to minimize the character of pimps. Many of you ladies, the only reason why you're not compelled to be in the game because you don't know the truth about the game. Because they, keep putting out false narratives. And that's what American Pimp was supposed to do. Now, I don't know how it got to be that, but Larry, I think his name is Larry McCoy. Larry is an actor from, if you guys remember Players Club, do something to make me feel better. That's Larry. Okay. Also, Larry was in Malcolm X when before he became Malcolm X. Hey, Ebony, baby. Before he became Malcolm X, he was just simply Red. And Red had on the loud ass suit. And Larry McCoy is the one that was like, man, you putting out my vision, man. You messing up my vision with them vines, man. That's Larry. Okay. Larry is that dude. Larry is the one and bossing up that came to Snoop's bottom bitch and came to her and like, bitch, the one that killed her and bossing up and say, bitch, all you had to do was choose a pimp and killed her. Okay? That's who Larry is. So Larry was the one who told, thanks, X-Coil, shouldn't my Asia Banks DM me on IG, girl. Okay, yeah, 299. That's right. Get your campaign on, dog. But you know what I mean. Larry had a conversation with the Hughes brothers, and within that conversation, he said, "I know some P's. I know some real P partners. Only been live damn near 18. I'm just getting started, Robin. You ain't missed nothing. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit the share button. But I know some people. So Larry ends up getting in touch with Rosebud. Okay, and that's how a lot of the older pimps, because they already had Bishop Don Magic Wand, they already had the general, but when Rosebud came in the picture, that's how a lot of the older P's got in. You wouldn't even have Gorgeous Dre in the film. It's the truth, man. You would not have Dre in the film, really, if it wasn't Bud, because Rosebud put Mel Taylor in the film. And Mel was the one that suggested and say, hey, I got a son. He's active and he's cold. My son right now is in a lifestyle, and I know after meeting him, y'all would want to meet him. Now, of course, you're going to have different representatives giving different perspectives of how this happened and how that happened. But the truth of the matter is this, man. Once the Hughes brothers started talking to Dre, you know what I mean? Once the Hughes brothers seen how Dre was living, how he had the mansion in Forest Hill, in Frisco. You know what I mean? How Versace plates and Versace drapes, Versace robes, and all of that. The Hughes brothers didn't even know that pimps could live on this level. All right, they was used to seeing pimps drive Cadillacs, and you little a lot of them guys that called themselves pimps. They had a lot of Chinese food, Walgreens jewelry. Okay, but this wasn't the Walgreens jewelry, Chinese food, McDonald Happy Meal having ass jewelry wearing dude. This was an elite Harvard University, young, vibrant, intelligent, infinite-minded pimp. Okay, so when the Hughes brothers seen Dre's mansion, they was like, good looking, knock, coming in here with the 20, bro. Good looking on that. Gerald, thank you, man, for the 5. But once the Hughes brothers seen how gorgeous Dre was living, they was like, God damn, this nigga really is the pimpin'. Shit. We didn't even know motherfuckers could live like this in the pimp game. We seen dope dealers on this level, but we ain't never seen no pimp. You know what I mean? Because see, when you have a home in Forest Hill, you pretty much looking over the city. Okay? Dre had a mansion in Forest Hill, and I don't think you guys understand the type of pimping that you have to do to basically sit up there and have a mansion in Frisco in the 90s. Okay, if it was just a familiar thing or a regular accomplishment, everybody would have been doing it, but they couldn't. So, the levels that Dre reached with his father's information was phenomenal. But the truth of the matter is, you guys would have never been introduced to Gorgeous Dre if it had not been for Rosebud. A lot of people might not like him, whatever, but this is the truth. I'm giving you the real. Okay, so once they hired Dre basically had an opportunity. It was really Dre's film with the Hughes brothers. So, you know what I mean? Dre basically put his people, his partners in. Now, before I get into the individuals that came in the game, let me tell you guys this. American Pimp was classic. It has some things contrary to the game. I'm going to get into that as well. Thank you for the 5. Jabron, thank you for the 20. It has some things that was right and it has some things that was wrong, just like with anything. But you have to understand that no matter if you got authentic pimps in a film, that there's still going to be things that's going to be put out there that's false simply because they're endeavoring to sell a film, okay? So we're endeavoring to raise the marketability so we can generate some currency. We can give a less fuck about your representation and the game and all of that, okay? The Hughes brothers had a film to sell. So what I wanted to tell you guys is, yes, American Pimp was cold, but could it have been colder? Yes, because a lot of the individuals that Dre wanted to be in the film, they said no. Okay, a lot of you guys don't know about Tidy P. If Tidy P had been an American Pimp, it'd have been on another level as well. Dre asked Johnny Moe, the original Johnny Moe, to be an American Pimp. He declined as well. Jay out of Portland. Jay basically was asked. Jay wish he would have did it, but he ended up declining as well. And it's Gene Morgan. He asked Gene Morgan, you know what I mean? No, he didn't ask Jesus. I think he was passed away by that time. But he asked Gene Morgan to be in it, and he declined as well. So there were certain Hall of Fame legendary Ps that was asked to be in the film, but due to certain circumstances that they were having at that time, or some just didn't want to operate like that. You had true giants in the game who was really having it their way, and they didn't want everybody to know that they were having it their way. Then you had some that once they heard about a film, they thought about pimps up, hoes down. So, a lot of the pimps had a bad taste in their mouth because of pimps up, hoes down, because of how ghetto, it was. And they was like, shit, you know what I mean? I don't want to be in that shit, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm really doing this shit. And if they think that that's the pimping, then of course that's going to keep the radar off of me. Now there was some real authentic pimps and pimps up hoes down, but it was a lot of buffoonery and pimps up hoes down as well. So it was a lot of elite professional gentlemen that didn't want their names associated with foolishness, such as the foolishness that went on in pimps up and hoes down. So, a lot of shit, we could have definitely had a greater film if certain ones was in it, because anybody, if you in the street, you know anybody, just ask Dre. Next time Dre go live, you can ask him about Tidy P. Ask him how cold Tidy was in that day. Tidy used to pull up in certain cars and pimps didn't even know what the fuck it was. You know what I mean? Okay, but let's get into the film. I done gave you, a little background stories, and I got some more, but I don't want to give it all to you at one time. So I'm gonna hit you. You know what I mean, with this. Hold on. Now, what I will say, when the film, of course, first start. Let me put this together. And shouts out to the Hughes brothers, because a lot of things that you guys loved, it's because of the great minds of the brothers, the way they edited the film, the soundtrack, all of that. But when the film basically starts, you're gonna have Bud, talking, and like I said, whatever we had. But I can't deny, when Bud sit up there, I used to tell him, if you're gonna have to sit down, if you want to know what's going on with me, because what I got to tell you, is colder than I forgot than a head-on collision going 90 miles per hour. Are you ready, girl? I'm a motherfucking pimp. And when he does that laugh, see, that's why I say I'm not gonna be able to get through the whole film in one video. Cause for those that love the film, I gotta walk you through the whole thing. When that nigga did that laugh, are you ready, girl? I'm a motherfucking pimp. And that part right there, if you're a young, impressionable mind and you see some shit like that, like, God damn, that was cold. That was cold as motherfucker. Okay, now, the introduction, that's when you know a film is getting ready to be damn near perfect. By the beginning, it's just like when I seen the film on NWA, the way that it even started, I knew that this was going to be a classic. I knew by seeing American Pimp that this was going to be classic. Are you ready, girl? I'm a motherfucking pimp. And that laugh, oh my God. So, of course, a lot of y'all didn't know, but you know what I mean? That was the famous, well, in the street, Mac Tone. A lot of y'all was like, who was that guy seeing that was on the phone and he was talking to a bitch? And he was like, hello? Yeah, what's going on? What you got around there, bitch? Oh, no, I only been out here for an hour. Bitch, I wouldn't care if you been out there, you understand me, whatever, ho, you understand me? You better go in motherfucking alleys, stores, you understand me, and find anything. You better give me some motherfucking money, ho. I'm gonna go get it in a minute. Hey, and of course, if you the pimping and you in the lifestyle, that ain't nothing to you. That's normal shit. But a young nigga listening to that, watching that, we're like, wait a minute, wow, rewind that back. I couldn't even, wait a minute, hold on, what? That nigga said, bitch, you better go in alley stores, what? You better go in alley stores or whatever, and get me some money. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, what? So, it started off real pimpish, man, with the music, in the back, hold on, man, time playing a bit. Right. And then I got, I want to do something freaky to you, instrumental playing in the background. Of course, Dr. Dre Snoop got on it. And, but another thing that I like to bring up, when you a young nigga, of course, you see a nigga calling somebody that many bitches and shit like that, and the bitch cool with it, good looking, Jabron. You know what I mean? You impressed. You a young nigga. You just laughing and smiling like, damn. You know, bitch, you better look up at alley stores. Damn, that nigga was serious about his money. So you just into it. So, you know what I mean? Of course that, young niggas be impressed with shit like that. Hold on. But because I'm going through the film, man. And then next to, of course, you got Charm sitting over there riding in that Benz, man, in Hawaii, man. Hey, a lot of people forget about how cold and fly Charm was, in the film, man. You know what I mean? Riding around in that Benz, man. Come on, man. This ain't the big, older Charm. This that young, vibrant, having it his way in Hawaii. You know what I mean? And at that time, Charm was riding around that Benz. I ain't gonna lie. When that nigga was like, you know what I mean? So I was young, I had these 3 little white girls bringing me candy by the bags, right? By the bags, you know what I mean? And, little white boys, they trying to bully. I had to, put an end to that, you know what I mean? But years later, white girls, bringing me, stuff, but it wasn't no candy this time, you know what I mean? It was some major paper. So, of course, when you watching that as a youngster, you like, man, this shit's so cold, man. You know what I mean? In Hawaii, right? So, okay. Right. Let me say this. Even though individuals was already saying this before payroll had said it, but let me say this. A lot of individuals started saying that they was born like this and born like that because of payroll. If you remember, payroll sat up there and was like, didn't nobody make me like this, I was born like this. I've been breaking girlfriends, breaking bitches, since I was 15, 16 years old. Now, you had individuals that was saying it, but you got to keep in mind that everybody in their mama seen American Pimp. So after seeing that film, everybody and their mama was like, oh man, I was born like this, I've been breaking bitches, since I was 15 and 16 years old. P, when you started in the game? Oh man, when I was 15, 16. You know what I mean? So that after that particular scene, you had individuals, they copied from payroll from the film, talking about they've been doing shit since a teenager. Nigga, knock it off. But a lot of niggas did get that part from payroll. That's where they got it. Now, as you continue, because I got to get a history as well. After that scene with payroll, you see this guy that a lot of you never seen before. He's in this suit. He getting inside, a clean ass whip. Then you see him, he got like 8 white bitches in one picture. His hair is done. And it's during the time when Shantae is talking. When Shantae was like, so when I'm pimping like he pimping, and I'm looking how he looking, my heart just get all fluttery, and things like that. But they showing pictures. A lot of y'all thought that was Shantae in his older days. But no, that was not Shantae in his older days. That was a pimp by the name of Silky. Okay? Silky used to stay with the snow. Okay? Silky used to stay with a motherfucking, you understand me, legions of white hoes. Hit that like button, man. The more likes, the more people up in here. Everybody break yourself and hit the like button and share button right now. Let's get as many people up in here as we can. It's the game. Now, you know what I mean? Silky stayed with the snow. Silky was a pimping motherfucker. And I done got this information, from different representation that was there during that time. What fucked up Silky at that time was Silky came out with a book. And Shantae told Silky, he said, man, don't bring out that book, man. You know what I mean? Don't bring out that book because you active in the game right now. And it don't make no sense for you to sit up there and bring out that book because you active in the lifestyle right now, P. But he didn't listen. You know what I mean? That book ended up incriminating him. And matter of fact, let me give you the history on that. Matter of fact, because I remember when P told me, Silky stayed 8 deep with white girls having stupid money. I told him not to put the book out while he was still in the game. He let his ego get in the way and he published the book anyway. The book sold millions of copies. Before he could get the money, they indicted him and sent him to the penitentiary for 8 years. He didn't get none of the royalties from the book. I think it sold, it sold about 7. This is from Shantae. Shantae, this is when Shantae had texted me, has sold 6 to 7 million copies. When he got out, he still had white bitches down, but he didn't get none of the money, you know what I mean, from that book, man. You know what I mean? And the game had used Shantae to tell him, man, Silky, don't put that book out. But he had still put it out. And due to, him wanting that, I told you, man, a lot of y'all, your desire for glorification is going to take you into incarceration, and it's going to fuck you up. You know what I mean? Silky had a lot of highs in the game, but due to his ego, he didn't get to shine the way he was supposed to shine, simply because he lost 8 years of his life, you know what I mean, putting that book out. He had to let the world know how cold he was doing. You know what I mean? But, okay. Also, if you notice, after they show Silk, they show a picture of Snooki. A lot of y'all didn't even know Snooki. Snooki, for those that don't know, when you look at my thumbnail, that's Snooki. The front of American Pimp is Snooki. The cover of American Pimp, that's Snooki. When you look after Shantae is speaking and they show that little scene in the Mac where the little children is outside and Goldie pulling up and things like that, after that, you see Snooki, you know what I mean, with the broads on the floor, you know what I mean, bowing down to him. And you see Snooki, you know what I mean, like this, you know what I mean? And you got the bitches all around and shit. That was Snooki. That was Snooki. So contrary to what had happened, I'm going to end up getting into all of that. But I have to tell you everything in totality, the good and the bad. I'm not going to just give you all of the bad about an individual, the good as well. And at that time, you know what I mean, that motherfucking picture was raw. So, you got to imagine, you know what I mean, I was a teenager when I seen this. So let's get into it, man. I got to give props when props was due. When they was like, okay, hello, what's your name? My name is Rosebud, for 2 Ds for a double dose of this pimping. Listen, y'all don't understand, as a young teenager, what that did to me. I'm like, hold on. Like when you listen to a rap song, or when you hear a person singing, or when you heard Malcolm X or Farrakhan speak for the first time, you know what I mean? And you was like, hold on. Wait a minute. Rewind that part back. You know what I mean? Excuse me. So go ahead and say your name. My name is Rosebud, for 2 Ds for a double dose of this pimping. Listen, do you not know that Rosebud had a bunch of Blackstones, GDs in Chicago? Niggas didn't even have D in their name. Niggas was saying shit like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? My name is Ronnie, for 2 Ds for a double dose of this pimping. Nigga, what? It ain't even 2 Ds in your, what are you talking about, nigga? You know what I mean? Like, nigga, what's going on with, yeah, my name Philip, for 2 Ds for a double dose of this pimping. Wait a minute, nigga, you not the pimping, and it ain't even a D in Philip, nigga. What is you doing? That nigga don't even know, still to this day, he got ass niggas. You understand me? What's your name? Oh, my name, man, my name is Marcus, man, for 2 Ds for a double dose of this pimping. Wait a minute, man. It ain't no D in Marcus. Yeah, man, but the game put the 2 Ds up in there, man. I'm still Marcus, man, for 2 Ds for a double dose of this pimping. Hey, you know what I mean? I know some of y'all like, man, forget, but hey, listen, I give props when props is due, okay? Y'all know I'm into personality. I'm into mouthpiece, all of that. And before Bud even gets to tell his story, that nigga said up there, yeah, Rosebud, for 2 Ds for a double dose of this pimping. Before the story even starts, you know what I mean? Before the story even starts, I was like, man, we could just end the film right there. It was classic right there. You know what I mean? Could you imagine? You like, why should I let you into heaven? You know what I mean? Because I'm Rosebud, for 2 Ds, a double dose of this pimping. Hey, you just have to be 100. P, I thought you was into it with him. Listen, man, you got to understand, man, I'm a man. You know what I mean? I'm really this. I don't lie on motherfuckers just because we into it. You know what I mean? If I see you doing some cold shit, whether I like you or not, whether we have a disagreement or not, I'm gonna keep that shit all the way 100. Nigga, when I first heard that, I was like, what? What in the hell? You know, 2 D's for a double dose of this pimping. So I know the same reaction that I gave, a lot of y'all gave that shit as well. Some of y'all was like, wait a minute. I know some of y'all was even calling y'all girlfriend. And she didn't even ask you your name. So what you over there doing? I was thinking about coming over there. It's Rosebud for 2 D's a double dose of this pimping. What? Yeah, it's Rosebud, 2 D's a double dose of this pimping. Derek, if you don't get off my phone and stop playing, ever since you've been watching them pimp films, you just been like talking crazy about your man, boy. If you don't knock it off, I'm so serious. That nigga had a bunch of young people across the globe saying that shit. I don't even think Bud knows that. He had niggas that didn't even have a DNA name every day saying this is such and such, you know what I mean, for 2 D's for a double dose of this pimping. Every day. So I just got to give props when props is due. If that wasn't one of the coldest lines to catch your attention and keep your attention for the rest of the film, I don't know what is. That motherfucker was cold. I know some of you niggas had to watch yourself because you damn near motherfucking chose. You know what I mean? You damn near chose on 2 D's a double dose of this pimping. Hold on. I got to go back. But, of course, you know Bud began to sit up there and talk about his name. Hold on. There we go. But you see, when he get past his name, Bud begins to talk about his childhood. He began to talk about basically fantasizing, you know what I mean, about being a Mac, being a pimp. Because he said everything out of my mouth was pimping. I was acting like a pimp. And he was looking at his older brother, you know what I mean, with them broads, fantasizing about doing some pimping. You know what I mean? Way before, you know, he physically participated in the game, he was already thinking about, hold on, let me say this. A1, thank you for the $7. Domite, thank you for the 5. Thank you, man. I'll get into all of that later. You just walk through the film with me, man. But, you know what I mean? He was like, you know, my brother, you know what I mean? Just like if you remember, even King James, you have to be watchful of the things you do around children. And Pimps Up, Hoes Down, you even see King James was like, and when my brother was kicking that shit, I was absorbing all of that shit. Right, just like Bud was. Bud was sitting over there listening to The Game, man. The Game. Hold on. And everything out of his mouth was pimping. As a man thinketh, so is he. He was fantasizing about it, talking about it. It was already getting set place in his mind at an early age. So when the opportunity presented itself, you know, pretty much the rest was history. But that first story was classic. When he set up the now imagine, and I like the fact that he told a truthful story. He didn't say that the bitch gave him $125,000 like a lot of you actresses out there. Not saying that it's not possible, but some of these guys, when they be telling their first pimp trap, yeah, you know, I mean, the bitch came down from the heavens, man. And she was like, it is I. And I was like, bitch, it's die? Yes, it is die. I've come to choose thee. I've come with $5 million to pay your pimping. Like, no, man. The bitch gave Bud $125. You know what I mean? That story was classic. You know what I mean? She was already giving him money, you know what I mean, and shit like that. And because he already had a desire in his heart because he was playing pool and shit, but he already had a desire to do things, Bud sat up there and was like, bitch, I'm a pimp on your motherfucking ass. And the bitch was like, I'll be your hoe. You know what I mean? And I just love, that's my part right there. This is because anybody that first get in the game, you square as a motherfucker. You green as hell. You're like, I'll be your hoe. It's like, all right, first thing Monday. Hey, tell me that that wasn't classic. Tell me that that wasn't classic. I'll be your hoe. All right, first thing Monday, bitch. Tell me that that wasn't classic, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was acting. He said it. He said it. If you go back, he said, watch his words. Before I got me, I was acting like a pimp. If I say anything contrary to what was said in the film, please somebody correct me. Those who have watched that film so many times, am I lying or telling the truth? Bud said out of his mouth that he was acting like a pimp. He said it. That came out of his mouth in the film. Go back and watch it. He said before I start, he was like, you know, man, I was acting like a pimp. And then he sat up there and he said, went into the story, you know what I mean? So the bitch, she was giving me money. And then she sat up there, you know what I mean, gave me that. Bitch, I'm a pimp on your motherfucking ass. I'll be your hoe. All right, first thing Monday. You know what I mean? That was classic. That was classic. So, you know, Monday come around, you know what I mean? Of course, you already know, you know what I mean? He, the bitch sit up there and tried to, you know what I mean? Well, he tried to talk himself out of it and shit. He was like, bitch, you got on the fucking jeans. Them bitch took the motherfucking jeans off and had on hot pants and go-go boots. And that's my part. It was in my face. I had to go. I had to go. Right. And that's when that nigga sat up there and said it out of his mouth. He's like, yeah, man, it was prime time, Oakland, man. And, you know, something came over me. And what did I always tell you guys? I'm going to have to do a video defining that. The spirit of pimping. The spirit of pimping. Because it was a spirit. It's a spirit. He said something came over me. It was the spirit of pimping. Trying to tell you. You know what I mean? He said, man, I don't know what it was, man, but just something came over me. You know what I mean? Something came over me. I know you probably just saying hi, but that just look weird. Baby, I got to remove that. You know, I fucks with you, Robin, but that just don't look right with a woman talking about pay my ism. I had to, I know what you probably meant, baby, but I had to get that out my comment section for people that just coming in. I don't want them thinking I got some confusion going on in my comment section. Ain't no women talking about pay my ism and my shit. But you know what I mean? And I know that's probably somebody's name or whatever, but no. But, talks way, but she pulled. Oh, admit the pictures that they showed of Bud after he told that story, was they not pimpish? Was his nails not pimpish? When he's standing in front of that motherfucking Rolls Royce, you know what I mean? We got two motherfucking fine ass miracle vehicles, one on this side, that on the other side, hair done. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me do this for you. There you go. You know what I mean? When you got the motherfucking pictures was the definition of pimpish. Hella pimpish. You know what I mean? Nails was done by God. Hit that like button right now. It should be nowhere in the world. It's 374 people watching, and it's only 168 likes. Get them likes over 200 right now. We endeavor to get it over 300, but get them likes over 200. Let's get more people up in here, man. Let's build up this audience. Come on. Stop playing with this game. But you got to admit that. Them pictures was fly as a motherfucker. Them pictures was fly as hell. Okay? Ain't no getting around. See, me, I'm not no hater. I don't have no hate in my heart. I could tell the truth. I know when something looks pimpish. I know when something looks fly. I know when something, you understand me, praises and magnifies and glorifies this game. You know what I mean? Ron, I asked that. I told you guys, if it ever like do any buffering, if we have any buffering, just tap out and tap back in. You know what I mean? You know the connection and all of that shit. But you know what I mean? Them pictures was fly as hell. I'm just giving props when props is due. You know what I mean? Hold on. Oh yeah, and I like when Bud said when they was like, "Who is that?" And he said, "That's L." He's like, "Who is that?" You know. Well, he said that was my one of my best hoes, if not the, you know what I mean, best hoe. You know what I mean? They said, "Why is that?" He said, "Because you know what I mean, she catered, you know what I mean, to a pimp." He said, "Because 9 out of 10, when I come to the crib, when I come to the house, I'm coming to bust that thing open." You know what I mean? So she already have my joint already rolled. I know what he talking. You know, I'm not gonna smoke no joint, but at the same time, you know what I mean? How to be catered to. The pimpin' love to be catered to. The pimpin' love that. Men do is just men, period. You know, when you got a woman that can cook, or if you smoke, she already got this rolled up, or you know, she done already did something without you asking her. See, because when you talk about, you know, good hoes, it go beyond just bringing in some money, baby. You know what I mean? It go with being a good woman. You know, before you become a good hoe, you got to be a good woman. So, you know what I mean? I know exactly what he meant by that. You know, as far as her being a good hoe, it wasn't just the hoeing that she was doing out there in the streets, but it was the hospitality, it was the loyalty, it was basically the characteristics that she had manifested when she was out them streets as well. So she was just a good woman inside and out. You know what I mean? Come on, man. I know some of y'all don't understand, but when you got a good hoe, somebody that you can have intellectual conversations with, somebody that like the same type of music that you like, somebody that know how to cook, somebody that know how to sit up there and rub your back without you asking. She already just massaging. She know how you want this done, and she does it well. You know, you might didn't have time to sit up there and make up this or do that. You know, she know how to make your bed up right. You know what I mean? She know that you a neat freak, so she do everything neat. She know how to iron your clothes, everything crease right. She just know how to cater to a pimp. You know, some of y'all go to the gym and you be so tired. You know what I mean? You don't even want to. You're not even strong enough to take your clothes off. Niggas know what I'm talking about. That's that real workout where you done work so hard in the gym where you're not even strong enough to take your clothes off. You so sore. But you got this whole catering to you, taking all your clothes off for you. You know what I mean? Come on, man. That's what it bothers me when somebody says, how could you love a hoe? Or how could you, have sex with a hoe? Do you not understand? How could you not? So, you know what I mean? I felt that. I love that part. You know, oh, and of course we know that the Sandy Baby story, that was a very sad story. You know, Sandy Baby ended up losing her life. Of course, you got other individuals to say other things, what happened or whatever, but we just gonna go off of what Bud said, and he said Sandy Baby was working, with the police. She ended up getting killed in the process, and things like that. But it was a sad story, but it was real because we know death occurs out here in these streets, no matter what lane you participating in the lane in. We know that this transpires. We're not ignorant to that. So you know what I mean? It was just real. And what I love the most when Bud sat up there and he said, I like that scene because it showed that pimps have a heart. Is Bishop Don Magic Wine say a sincere pimp? You know what I mean? He was sincere when he spoke about Sandy Baby. That's why I like that, because he showed his heart. I like when Bud went on to say that, she with me for me. Everybody else was pretty much with who they thought Bud was. You know what I mean? But, she was with me for me. And if you ever been in the lifestyle of the streets, you have individuals that's going to be with you because of the image that you putting out there. You know what I mean? They like your image. The image of Gorgeous Dre, the image of a Rosebud, the image of a Kenny Ray. But behind the image, behind the street representation, there's a man. There's a human being. There's some individuality behind all of that. You know what I mean? It's behind the person, the individual, and she like John for John. Okay, beyond Rosebud, she like John for John as an individual, as a man. So of course, her losing her life, that hurt, and that's when you really knew that he was touched, because still to this day he remember her birthday, and I think November the 29th. November the 29th is her birthday. So every November the 29th, he reminisce in retrospect about the days that he presided over her in the game, because those was, touching days. Those were classic days, within his life. You know what I mean? So I like that. I like when Bud said that, I didn't have no designated off days. You know what I mean? Because the bitch, if you wanted designated off days, you should have been a goddamn secretary. I like that because, especially in today's time, you have a lot of these Me Too movement boyfriend ass niggas who really profess to be this pimping, but they got the bitch only worked 3 days out the week, and 4 days she with him. He worked 2 days. He only sent his bitches to work 2 days out the week, and they resting for 5. All type of fugazi ass shit, that's out today. You know what I mean? That's abominable. You know what I mean? Now, of course, we have our time where a pimp might, allow a bitch to be with him. But, all of this, that's why I told you, Backpage, them escort services, a lot of them escort services y'all be having these bitches in, you building up a fact, okay? You making a lazy ass bitch. And this is the reason why I respect this time, their era, because bitches really had to hoe, man. They had to put in some hoeing. See, a pimp didn't mind giving a bitch, a day to be with the pimping. Why? Because this bitch was out there really giving all of her ability to the best of her ability and making it a motherfucking responsibility on the daily to bring a pimp his currency top of the motherfucking morning. And see, when you got a bitch like that or bitches like that, of course you're going to sit up there and be a blessing to those who endeavor to be a blessing to this game that you sit up there and give out each and every goddamn day. So, I like that. Hold on. And that's another part. That's another part that I really love. When he sat up there and said, because I get to be with my man, he's a motherfucker, I'm a motherfucker. Shit, this is why I'm hoeing. Man, that's the part right there. This is why I'm hoeing. This is why I'm going through all of these adversities and difficulties out there on the track each and every day. That's why I'm doing all of this. I don't mind going through all that. Why? Because I get to spend time, with the pimping. I get to be around this pimping, man. I get to be around the man, that I'm possessed the love that I profess to have for. This is why I'm hoeing. I'm happy about hoeing. Not only do I give this man all of my money, but I'm happy about surrendering every damn dime. This is why I'm hoeing. I do everything that I've done. I'll do it again, and again, and again. I'm really into this man. You know what I mean? Period. Hold on. So, okay, here you go. Let me just speak on that just a little bit, because a lot of these niggas, you sending bitches out the door, but are they happy? Because there's nothing that a happy hoe can't do. So question tonight, examine yourself. Am I producing happy hoes? Damn, man, why I always stay broke? Why I ain't never really having no money in the game? You know what I mean? Like, what do you do with them hoes? Some of y'all boring, no personality. You don't never go nowhere. You never take the bitch nowhere. You know what I mean? You just send it to the same old dusty ass place all the time. She bring back this dusty ass trap. You know what I mean? She could predict your moves before you make them. You so predictable. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. So ask yourself that. What am I producing? What am I producing? Yeah, a lot of these niggas is predictable. Okay, so that was classic. And then that's another thing that I love. When Bud sit up there and said, "That's why I'm on." Notice the Willie Hutch, you know what I mean, came in. The Willie Hutch came in. The I Choose You came in. Oh my God. I just got to give props to the Hughes brothers. The way that the Hughes brothers put that together with the music for each scene. And after Bud sit up there and said, "Ha, that's why I'm on." Dun, 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 you know, and then the music come on. Oh my God, that was classic. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Yeah, they was geniuses for that. And then after that, of course, they get the Mac to come in. And the scene from the Mac when he said, "Remember, any man can control a woman's body, but the key is to control her mind." You know what I mean? Which remind me of this group in Vegas, man. They used to have a cold ass album with scenes from the Mac. You know what I mean? Going all through the album, man. That shit was cold. Okay. Now, when they spoke on the origin of pimping, that's when you see Dre. Dre has an introduction that comes in right about that time. That's when Dre come in. You know what I mean? That's when you hear, you know what I mean, Dre come in and be like, before, you know what I mean, it was any pimping going on, you know what I mean, it was some motherfucking horn. You know what I mean? Mary Magdalene, she was horn in the Bible days. Jesus knew it. That was my part. You know what I mean? Of course, you know, good looking, Larry. Thanks for the two. But that was my part. That was one of my favorite parts in the film. You know what I mean? I'm a church kid. You know what I mean? That's man. You know, she was horned like a motherfucker in the Bible days. Jesus knew it. Hey, to see somebody with this type of boldness. And then that's another thing that I'm checking out, because you know when you're young, you checking out everything. And not only am I listening to the things that Dre is saying, but I'm looking at what he got on, and I'm looking at his background. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the bed he's sitting on. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, that's slick. But when that nigga sat up there and was like, you know, Mary Magdalene, she was horned like a motherfucker in the Bible day. Jesus knew it. Hey, y'all don't know how classic that was. You gotta have a spiritual background that kind of even understand, you know, Jesus, Mary Magdalene. If you don't come out of spirituality or had some type of spiritual or maybe religious background, that part wouldn't even make sense to you. But if you had any biblical knowledge, the moment that was said, you died laughing. I like when he said, "If there ain't another pimp in the country, there's gonna be some motherfucking hoes hoeing." Oh, I loved it. He did that. And then that's also when you see Mel Taylor. That's when you see Mel Taylor, the great Mel Taylor, the 16 deep Mel Taylor. Back in the day, that's the deepest that Mel Taylor has ever been. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mansion home having Mel Taylor. The Benz driving Mel Taylor. Yeah. The one, you know what I mean, that was influenced by Joe Langford. That Mel Taylor. The one, you know, that was quoting Shakespeare. That Mel Taylor. The one that was writing poetry and, you know, that Mel Taylor. When they would get into debates or conversations, that Mel Taylor used to be able to bring up different writers. Because see, and Mel Taylor's and Joe Cato's and Johnny, the original Johnny Moe, back in their time, this was an era that everybody pretty much was jockeying to be the most intelligent. They wanted, that's just like me and, let's say, me and Brother Cole, Jay, Hollywood Hawkins, and Ken, we all surrounded. So during that era, when we having a conversation, Of course, I ain't trying to make nobody feel stupid or nothing, but during that time, people would bring up, what did you read yesterday? Or what have you read, this week? Or what's the newest book that you reading? Or what's going on? Because this was their way of verbal and mental sparring. You know what I mean? Because back in those times, you couldn't just have a bride and just say you was a pimp. You had to do some reading. You had to be a knowledgeable individual. You had to be a powerful, intellectual, articulate, clean individual. You had to be a walking Webster's Collegiate Dictionary. You had to be a walking museum of knowledge and wisdom. Them guys was reading. Them guys, was very learned men. You couldn't just say, you were a pimp. Because even if you had a broad or two, they was going to put you on the spotlight. Back in the day, it was the spotlight. Eddie Charles. If you ever talk to Drake, bring up somebody by the name of Eddie Charles. Eddie Charles sit up there and talk a certain way, be like, man, nigga talking about he's the pimp. Nigga, you ain't no motherfucker. Nigga, look, put the spotlight on him. Hold on, what year is this car? What year is this car? Oh, baby, that's 5 years behind. Nigga, you ain't no motherfucking pimp. Why? Because in their era, not only did you have to have, a slick ride or whatever, but that shit had to be in the year, man. It had to be in the year. This what defined pimping to them. Being a Renaissance man, being a man before anything, but, sharp dressed, smelling good, but your car, even the ride, your mobile, your presentation, it's in the year. The prerequisite for pimping was high in the heavens. But because we allowed a lot of Ritalin baby, dumbass, mama raised, I hate my father, I love my mama, Me Too movement, I'm real, I'm a street nigga, but I haven't took a shower in 3 days because I'm keeping it real. Niggas to be in the game today, that's why a lot of this shit is fucked up. The niggas that can't spell their name on a goddamn smartphone. It's a whole big population of these type of guys that's in the game now. We have really dropped the ball. We dropped the ball. When you hear about stories of Joe Cato, Joe Langford, the original Johnny Moe, Eddie Charles, Gene Morgan, Salisbury, of course, Mel Taylor, you know what I mean? The Magnificent Seven. We didn't drop the ball. I'm talking about pimps. I'm not talking about dope dealers. I'm talking about niggas who was doing straight lace pimping. A lot of people might want to speak on male and different ones in the latter end, but like I tell anybody, once you get on drugs, I'm not judging you once you get on drugs. Why? Because that's not even you. You are no longer yourself once you are on drugs. So whatever you did while you was hooked, wrapped up, tied up, and entangled up in them drugs, I didn't judge you. I was looking at them demons because that's what the fuck that was. You wasn't even yourself. You had controlled substances presiding over your life. So I can't judge you. But when, the people that I'm naming were in their youth, in the prime of their life, because you got some people that try to speak on the individuals that I'm speaking on, but them individuals that's speaking on them, they wasn't even in that era. So I just got to get the truth. If you ever hear Bud say anything negative about Mel or anybody, he came in the latter end. He wasn't in the day when Mel and all of them, were in the younger day. He came at the ass end. You know what I mean? But he's still a pimping motherfucker, but I have to give you the right eras. That's like right now, Sin and Freeze, they popping, but later on in our lives in the 40s and shit, we done fell off and some young pimps in their 20s and shit, see us in our 40s and we not what we was in our 20s and 30s, and you trying to categorize and minimize our whole existence and attendance in the game because of what you see presently and recently. Okay? So we have to rightly divide, the words of truth. We got to sit up there and judge this with some, okay? But the people that I'm naming, these was incredible pimps. Okay? Incredible pimps. Known legendary pimp. A lot of them guys that y'all be naming, they was mixed up with drugs since the beginning to the ninth inning. So you would classify those guys as cold max, but not no damn, let me do this for you. Thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you, Brother Cole. We ain't got time to be playing. Okay, getting right into it. I like when Danny Brown was real smooth. I like the way he, broke things down. And I like the way that Danny Brown sat up there and made it known that when you watch the old films concerning, old Westerns, you will notice that all of the governor, the mayor, all the important people with cold positions, they was dancing with prostitutes, smiling with prostitutes, laughing, had a time of their life, with prostitutes. You know what I mean? They was doing their thing with these prostitutes. They really were. You know what I mean? So, and prostitution really didn't become something that people abhorred, because whenever you even go to the book of Genesis, I can show you prostitution. I'm talking about in the day of Judah. I can show you prostitution. You know what I mean? In the book of Genesis, I can show you prostitution. So prostitution has been out, but it didn't become something that people abhorred or put on an Oscar award performance as if they had hatred towards it, until it was a known fact that black men were reaping the benefits off of prostitution and living well and not paying taxes. That's what the problem was. When you see these people all on the news and crying and acting like, they really, oh my God, and, and how could she do this? And, this scum of the earth. And they don't sincerely feel like that. And then some of you people that talk against the lifestyle of pimping and whoring, you only speak against pimping and whoring because of social engineering. You were taught that. You got the wrong vision, definition, and depiction of every participant in the game, because they influenced you to think like that. That's why your vision is fucked up. That's why you think 2 + 2 is 5. That's why you think every pimp in the lifestyle is abusive. Man, you got some pimps that wouldn't even sit up there and break a motherfucking fingernail on a disobedient bitch. Okay? You got individuals, in the game. Let me tell you something. Just to give you some knowledge and wisdom. When you judge the whole population by the bad representation that you've seen out that population, you're going to get the wrong vision, definition every goddamn time. So when you try to categorize every pimp and say that they're abusive and they're forcing drugs on women, to do this and to do that, you are basically, you ignorant. That's like every black man, will go to prison at least once. That's an ignorant statement. That's like a motherfucker saying every husband is abusive because Juanita Bynum basically was beat by her husband. And anybody remember that incident that occurred with Juanita Bynum and her husband? Juanita Bynum husband beat her ass in the parking lot. And he was a bishop. And she's a televangelist. So if spousal abuse, if physical abuse can occur between a husband and wife, and you don't classify every husband to be abusive, then why is it that when a man that professes to be a pimp puts his hands on a woman or one of his women, you want to classify the whole population of pimps and say every pimp is abusive. When the truth is, a lot of the guys that are abusive in the lifestyle of pimping and whoring, they were already abusive before they got in the lifestyle. Some of these guys got problems with their mother. Some of these guys have problems with women, period. So it didn't matter whether he was a pimp, a plumber, a motherfucking firefighter, a politician. That spirit, that anger that he has towards his mother, his auntie, or whoever, for the whole population of women, it didn't matter what his occupation is. You putting too much importance on the occupation. You looking at the fruit. I'm showing you the root. And the root, you understand me, is going to show you why he's beating this woman, why he's sitting over there smacking the hell out of her. It has nothing to do with him professing to be a pimp. Because you can do what's vital to the title of a pimp without putting your hands on a woman. Because you got some old, ancient, respectable, reputable pimps in the days of old that'll tell you that the moment that you put your hands on a woman or a hoe or your hoes, you ran out of pimping. In most circumstances, you got some that, you know, every now and then you got to put your take the bitch to the barbershop and kick the dingleberries out of her ass, and you might have to knock the furniture out of motherfucking mouth for getting out of bounds with you. You got individuals that's going to teach you that, and then you have the others with that philosophy of if you put your hands on the bitch, you ran out of pimping. So it's just every representation, every representative got their own perspective. But don't ever try to categorize the whole game, you know what I mean, by that type of shit. So I had to put that out there. You know, like I said, I won't be able to finish everything in one video because it was just too many messages. But I appreciate Danny Brown for putting that out there. It didn't become such a big deal. Prostitution didn't become something to abhor and hate until they found out that black men were the common face for guys that were presiding over these women without paying taxes and living off the earnings of prostitution. That's when it was a problem. These niggas is having it their way and they ain't paying no taxes. That's a problem. Okay, now the introduction of the legendary Kenny Red out of Oakland that a lot of y'all thought that was in Washington, D.C. No, the truth of the matter is that, let me give you the backstory. Dre selected Washington, D.C. for Kenny Red. Okay? Dre selected New York for RP, and Dre selected D.C., you know what I mean, for K-Red. I think Charm was already in Hawaii, but that was a good place. So they wanted to, you know, move around. But if you can ask Dre, you know what I mean, he'll confirm everything. It was Dre that basically selected DC for K-Red to be. As a matter of fact, if you go look at, put in American Pimp outtakes. If you look at the outtakes for American Pimp, you'll see K-Red standing in front of that black gate, standing in front of the White House, right? And you'll see Dre with the little earrings, with the white suit, jeweled up, standing with the Hughes brothers on the side. Just put in American Pimp outtakes and you'll see that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was Dre that selected DC. And I got to tell you that the introduction of Kenny Red, nobody had a colder introduction as far as appearance. Now, of course, you got, you know, Bud coming in with 2 Ds for a double dose of this pimping. But then after that, you know what I mean, you got K-Red, man, walking up. This is not the swole 20-inch arms K-Red with the dreads. This is, you understand, up white suit, you know what I mean, tall and slender Kenny Red. You know what I mean? This is a whole different Kenny Red at that time. You know what I mean? So, man, when he walked up them stairs, you know what I mean? And when he sit up there, he was like, yeah, man, you know, man, this Kenny Red, man, and I'm in the House of Representatives. Fun, dun, dun, dun. And then beat playing, you know, senators, you know what I mean, janitors, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, because, you know, I done did it from, you know, man, It's just memories coming back as a teenager. I done did it from, you understand me, the nation capital, Big Apple, State Apple. Yeah. Hold on, it's been a while. Yeah, my name is Kenny Red. We are in Washington, D.C., and this is the nation capital, the House of Representatives. Then the little beat come on. K Red just sit down with the white suit on and shit. You know what I mean? Looking all fly. Hey, man, you just got to keep it 100, man. When he walking up them stairs, they gave that man the coldest introduction to get chose off of. Okay? If K Red could have talked to every bitch that was a fan of his at that time, I know a lot of bitches rewind that part. Who is that nigga right here? They set up there and rewind it. Here you have a tall, charismatic, suited and booted pimp coming up the stairs in Washington, D.C. Oh my God. You could just about imagine. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it is. Because I did it from the state apple, the pineapple to the big apple. That's they thing. And they still saying that still to this day. You will just like when you hear people say, let your next move be your best move and everything run real smooth. You still got motherfuckers still to this day in 2018. Oh man, you know what I mean? Because I did it from the state capital, you know what I mean, to the nation capital to the pineapple, man. I did it, you know what I mean, from I drink Snapple, I eat apple. You got niggas still saying that shit still to this day. Somewhere at a Greyhound right now, you got some OG, a young nigga with a Cadillac or Eldorado parked outside waiting for some little fine thing to get off of a Greyhound right now with some OG at her face right now. Yeah, all you gotta do, you know what I mean, let your next move be your best move and everything run real smooth, baby, you know what I mean? Because I done did it from the state capital to the nation apple, to the big apple, man. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is choose up with a pimp this morning. You know what I mean? I got a real doctor's degree, a PhD. What's that? Pimp and hoes degree. You gonna have that. From these films, niggas is still using the same nursery lines from Pimps Up, Hoes Down and American Pimp still to this day. Still to this day. And what hurts my feelings is they say these lines as if nobody heard it but them. I'll never forget, this was when I first started. This is back in 07. We all outside in front of the MGM just chopping up game, right? And this nigga, he was so game goofy that this nigga sit up there and actually said K Red's lines like we wasn't gonna know him. He like, yeah, right, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, man, these hoes, man, you know what I mean? They real sit up there, you know what I mean? And try to motherfucking sit up there, you know what I mean? And pull one over up here, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, so I'm gonna check a bitch, man, make sure when the bitch come through the door, you know what I mean? She ain't got no dough, man, you know what I mean? The bitch of mine ain't gonna keep it down, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, bitch, you know what I'm saying? If you gonna try to hide something, you know what I mean? You know, hide some of them pennies and shit, bitch, but you better not be trying to stack none of these motherfucking dollars and shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, bitch of mine better not keep a dime, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. You know what I mean? You're just a bow of it, man. You know? Lames. I cannot lie about that. Yes, it was an excellent film, but just being real, after seeing that, there was a lot of people that thought that they could actually participate in the lifestyle because of that. That nigga actually said that. You know what I mean? That nigga said, yeah, you know what I mean? Because if I count the bitch, you know what I mean? It's have the tricks, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Ha! Have it, you know what I mean? I better not keep a dime, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Nigga, are you under the impression that you the only one that's seen the film? And what hurts me the most is you saying this shit to these bitches and you act as if these bitches haven't heard it before. Y'all still going to the track and you saying a bunch of sugar-free lines and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, you know, the only reason why my bitch, you know what I mean, got on panties, man, you know what I mean, to keep her ankles warm, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, that's the only reason, man, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he asked me where I got him down there, man, on the corner, nah, you know what I mean? Pomona, nah. You actually have lames out here that say these lines, you know what I mean, out here on these streets, and they think they about to get chose. Now, I will say that there are some old game goofy ass bitches out here that will give a motherfucking bankroll to a lipo, that will pay the shit out of a male actress. This shit is true. We cannot, we can't get over that. I can't lie to you and act as if, you know what I mean, that's not true. Hold on for a minute. There we go. But you have individuals that's constantly saying nursery rhymes from American Pimp and Pimps Up Hoes Down still to this day. Come on, man. There's 411 people up in here. Hit that like button right now. Hit the share button. Share this video. Hit the like button. Share. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe right now. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. Share. The more likes, the more recommendations this video will get. But come on, man. Originality is a necessity for you to profess and possess this P. You can't be sitting over there stealing conversation from other representation up in a motherfucking documentary and think that you're going to come to the pavement and be legendary. That's not how it goes, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Bitch, your bag can't keep it down. I looked at this nigga so lame when he did that. I said, no, he didn't do that. No, he didn't just say that. No, he didn't just say that, man. Damn, he didn't just say that. I know this nigga that just didn't say repeat American Pimp line in a circle of peas. No, he didn't do that. You know what I mean? So these films, I can't deny that. These films brought in a whole bunch of goofies. A whole bunch of goofies. Okay? Now, hold on. Man, because I done did it from the state capital to the nation capital to the pineapple to the big apple, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, let your next move be your best move. Everything will run real smooth. I got a PhD, a pimpin' hoes degree. Woo, woo, woo. And these niggas was taking down the lines like, ooh, I got Kenny Red. I got Pippa Ken's lines. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm about to go knock. And it's like, damn, did you forget that a bitch seen this too? I know you knew that the bitch, you know what I mean? And I gotta give it to the Hughes brothers. One of the coldest parts is when K-Red did say that, you know what I mean? Because my mouth like a Uzi double clip. That was cold. They are cold for that. The Hughes brothers, yes, the pimps are the pimps. But the Hughes brothers, the way that they edited this film, man, goddamn. They was cold as a motherfucker. Can you just imagine a bitch seeing the pimp and say, you know what I mean? Because my motherfucking mouth, you know what I mean, is like a Uzi, man, armed and dangerous. You know, whole like, yeah, I'm choosing. I'm choosing. That's why I say any nigga that can't knock a bitch, being in a film like this, being mentioned in a film like this, and you can't reinvent yourself, you can't resurrect, you know what I mean, your situation, then you never had no uncommon information to begin with. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Now, everybody know when K-Red was up in the barbershop, I can't lie. K-Red in the barbershop is the reason why a lot of you niggas be extra pimpish still to this day. A lot of these niggas right now, when you around your P partner, you will notice that he try to get extra pimpish. And these niggas don't be thinking that these hoes be noticing that shit, right? Nigga be like, yeah, I already told you was gonna get it, bitch. Listen, bitch, I already told you that you was gonna get it, bitch. You know what I'm saying? All you do, bitch, is go to work, handle my business, get my money, and everything gonna be all right, bitch. I already know what you gonna say, bitch. I already know what you gonna say. And it's like, wait a minute, bro. Like, that's from the film, bro. That scene in that movie, and that scene in the documentary, that scene right there is one of the main reasons why you got niggas going so hard on the phone. You could be giving a pimp a ride and be like, yeah, P, you want to go get something? I'm about to go pick up something to eat. Yeah, we go over there, P. Hold on. I'm just about to hop on the phone right quick. Oh, go ahead. What's happening, bitch? Bitch, you sound like you sleeping over there, bitch. You know what I mean? We don't believe in sleep around this motherfucker, bitch. No, it ain't even sleep till you die, bitch. You better not be caught sleeping around that motherfucker either. Yeah, bitch, it's real pimping on your line, bitch. I'm not playing with you. And then you just ride, you like, damn, this nigga, he going hella hard. These niggas will go hard. Everything is bitch, 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 bitch. Because he want to let everybody know that he pimping. What's happening, bitch? How much you got? Oh, bitch, you know what I mean? You got it 15,000 again? Bitch, that ain't shit, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, get it up. Bitch, I'm not playing out here, bitch. I'm not playing. Bitch, I quit heaven because they was praising and playing too goddamn much. Bitch, you wasn't enough pimping in heaven. So I told God, you know what I mean? I appreciate you letting me up in this motherfucker, but I gotta go. Bitch, so don't miss me with that. Now, you know if I walked out of heaven because they was playing too much, you know I'm gonna sit up there and walk off on your motherfucking ass for playing too goddamn much, bitch, about this pimping. So what's happening? What? You called a date 5 minutes ago. Bitch, 5 minutes ago, bitch, that's 300 seconds. 300 seconds, bitch, that's 300 years. Bitch, where's my money? I think you playing. And you have characters like this. and the real pimps, the pimps just be standing to the side. You trying to hold your laugh. You say, yeah, man, let me call my other bitch. What's happening? What's going on with... Hold on, bitch. I don't like your tone. I don't even like the tone of your motherfucking voice, bitch. Straighten up your motherfucking tone when you talking to me, bitch. Yeah, straighten up your motherfucking tone, bitch. You know what I mean? You know I'm not playing around this motherfucker. What you mean you ain't said nothing? Bitch, you just said something right there. Now say something again. And see if I don't sit up there and kick the dingleberries out your motherfucking ass, bitch. This pimping ain't no play shit with this pimping. All right, bitch, get your motherfucking ass out my phone. Bitch, lost your goddamn mind saying you ain't said nothing. Bitch, you just said something, you motherfucking liar. Lying ass motherfucker, get your ass off my phone. These are the type of characters that we have, that we was having in the game, man. Real talk. Detroit, thank you, man, coming in with the 10. Such a wonderful world. Shout out, blessed to everyone. Our big brother is blessing to us in the form of verbal trophies. Man, for real. Because of that scene by K-Red, you got so many niggas that go extra beyond hard on the bitch. I've seen niggas in prison blow the bitch because he around pimps. I lie to you not. Niggas basically got one hoe and he trying to impress niggas that got 5 and 6 hoes, and he talking to this one hoe like he got motherfucking a following like King Solomon. So he on the phone. What's going on? Yeah, did you put that money on my books? Now here go the pimping. The pimping on the phone with his hoe. You know, the pimping is smooth. Another pimping over there smooth. Everybody, you know, what's going on, baby? What you cook today? Damn, I ain't even gonna lie. You know, it's a lot of things I miss about you, but, you know, man, cooking is definitely one of the things that I miss out of the innumerable things that I miss about you. I can't wait to get home to you. You know what I mean? How everything else going on around. People having a smooth conversation, keeping the conversation smooth and square, because it tell you before you even jump on the phone that these conversations are being monitored and recorded. But this game goofy lame ass green, I gotta let everybody know that I got a bitch in prison. I've seen it. Niggas will sit up there on the phone in front of all of the pimping. Bitch, how much you put on my books? How much you put on my books, ho? What? $700. How much did you make? What? 900, and you only put 700 on my books? Why you only put that much? You had to pay for your room. Shit, bitch. You know what I mean? You should have sent me the motherfucking 900 and got some more of it, bitch. I'm not playing. Don't think just because a nigga in jail or prison, bitch, you know what I mean, that I'm gonna sit up there, you know what I mean, and be soft on your motherfucking ass. Ain't no playing about this shit. Yeah, bitch, don't get this shit fucked up because I'm in here eating soups and honey buns and deodorants and all that and frosted flakes that I'm still up in here making mistakes. No, real one's still great around this motherfucker, though. Yeah, I'm still demanding and commanding minds, though. For real, though, bitch. I'm not playing. I don't give a fuck, bitch. Who the fuck you talking to? These conversations is being monitored and recorded. Bitch, I don't know. They gotta know that I'm pimping. Give a fuck about who monitored and recorded the conversation. Bitch, God hear the conversation too. Bitch, do you see my charges? Do you see why I'm in here? Yeah, bitch, it's pimping with me. God know I'm pimping. My mama know I'm pimping. The judge know I'm pimping. You know what I mean? You know I'm pimping. So, bitch, since you know I'm pimping, bitch, you better act accordingly around this motherfucker, though. And he loud as hell. The Bloods, the Crips, the Pimps, they all around him listening to this loud ass nigga that want to sit up there and let everybody know that he's checking some money in jail. I've seen these type of dudes that go over and beyond to let the world know that they pimping. And then the same nigga, not gonna say his name because I love this nigga to death, but he ends up blowing this pretty little white bitch, blew her. Hit the like button right now. It's 423 of y'all. Hit the like button. Hey, baby. How you doing, Mia? Hey, baby. You know what I mean? Got, what you mean? I'm just saying hey to Maya. Ike party, what's happening? But that's just the real. You know what I mean? That's just keeping that thing all the way real, man. The nigga sat up there and blew the bitch because he was trying to impress us. Fine ass little white bitch. All that nigga had to do was pimp and keep everything smooth. But no, he had to yell on the phone. He had to let everybody else know that he was pimping and mashing and ended up blowing the bitch. And now you went from a nigga that was having fat store to now a nigga basically that you got to ask for a jug now. So because of that barbershop scene with K-Red, a lot of y'all niggas thought y'all was cool and you really wasn't. And I ain't gonna lie, that shit was hard as hell. K-Red, what's happening? Oh man, you know what I mean? Same, hold on. Yeah, same old soup reheated. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You know when you're a young motherfucker, you know what I mean? That shit sound cold as hell. What's going on, K-Red? How you doing? Oh man, you know, same soup reheated. You know what I mean? You like, wait a minute, rewind that part. Same soup reheated. It's the little things, especially to a young nigga. Hold on. And they were saying that, thank you for the 77, good looking, bro. But, you know what I mean? Just keeping that shit all the way 100. Was they saying that before that time? Yes. But just being all the way real, after K-Red said, same old soup, reheated, everybody and their mama was saying that. Hold on. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. When it was like, so what you get today? Oh man, you already know, man, a pimp do. You know what I mean? So I go catch me a nice, young, pretty young bitch. You know what I mean? Somebody that like this pimping. Yeah. Then nigga nails, you notice that his nigga nails looking so right. They put the camera on the nails, be like, hello? Yeah, what's going on, bitch? I told you that you was already gonna get it, bitch. I already told you. Look, bitch, you know what I mean? You just go to work, handle my business, give my money, and everything gonna be all right. And a lot of you niggas sit up there and you tried to go out there and say it to your girlfriend and your wife, and you got put out the house. Hold on. Now, I will like to say this. I got to get a little serious right now because when K-Red leaves the barbershop after he didn't sit up there, you know what I mean, and had that, you know what I mean, cold conversation on the phone and shit like that, you know what I mean, I already told you go get it, bitch. I already told you, you just go to work, handle my business, get my money, and everything gonna be all right. You know what I mean? After he sit up there, you know what I mean, and make that known, you know what I mean, and everybody laughing and smiling. Notice how the squares, smiling and laughing. Squares love being around this pimping. They dislike the pimping because in their heart, they really want to be the pimping. Like, damn, man, why God ain't blessed me to be the pimping? Why I don't have the abilities to be the pimping? So instead of them congratulating the pimping and be like, damn, man, you really what I want to be. You know what I mean? They just sit up there and just come on one accord to hate on this pimping. But when K-Red leaves the barbershop, you'll notice he started talking about, how, I was a youngster, and, from the ghetto and things like that. And I wanted a job. I never really wanted nothing hard. I wanted an easy job. Now, let me say this. And I know K-Red didn't mean it like that. But what you have to understand is no matter how good you preach, no matter how good you teach, there's always going to be somebody, whose comprehension, going to take that and they're going to do something else with it. So you had a lot of individuals that was from the hood in the ghetto that really wanted to be like K-Red, and especially when K-Red said, I wanted something easy. I wanted something, I didn't want a hard job. Let me tell you youngsters this. There's nothing easy about this pimping, okay? If anybody and everybody could do it, they would be doing it. What man don't want a multitude of women giving him a multitude of money? What man wouldn't want to wake up to gratitude and gratitude and a multitude of money coming from fine, attractive, beautiful ass women every damn day? What man would want to sit up there and give instructions and see his instructions come into existence every goddamn day? You know what I mean? Everything that he wanted to accomplish is accomplished every day by the women that he got gamed up. Come on, man. Seriously. What man wouldn't want to live like that? So if anybody and everybody could pimp, they would. Don't ever get it fucked up. So when K-Red said that, I always wanted something easy, I didn't want nothing hard, a lot of you thought to yourself that, hey, I'm an attractive guy. I got a big dick. You know what I mean? I'm a hood nigga. I'm a real nigga. So let me give, this pimping a try. And next thing you know, you got 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, life sentence. There's nothing easy about the pimping. Now, it might appear to be easy with all of the guys that profess it that it's easy out their mouth. But just in reality, there's nothing nothing easy about mentally responding in situations that you want to emotionally react in. There's nothing easy about presiding over the lives of others, and you always have to put your personal desires and feelings to the side and reject it, and you always have to cater to the desires and needs of women all the damn time. There's nothing easy about that. So I don't want you to get a falsified develation that you think there's a revelation about this game. There's nothing easy about that, which is another reason why a woman can't be a pimp. Because as a pimp, you have to always mentally respond and not emotionally react. So because you have to respond to situations mentally and not emotionally, that eradicates damn near all of the motherfucking females, period. Because there's going to be some situations that's going to occur in the game and you can't take your heart out. You got to bring your whole mind, not your heart. You're going to get fucked up in this game, in this lifestyle, bringing your heart to the table. So with that being said, you know what I mean? No, ain't no female pimps, and that's just another reason why you couldn't be it. Now, hold on. I'm going to ask you guys before I go, I'm going to give you another one that a lot of y'all don't know. I'm going to ask you guys, was Gangsta Brown an American pimp? I'm going to ask you. Okay? Okay, some saying no. A lot of people didn't know that Gangsta Brown was in American Pimp. Dre didn't even know that Gangsta Brown was in American Pimp. You know what I mean? Dre didn't even know that. When K-Red is leaving out the barbershop, he talking to Gangsta Brown. A lot of people didn't know that. Because it was like, damn, man, you know what I mean? That's Gangsta Brown? But see, what people didn't know, I'm not going to get into all of that. It was a reason why Gangsta Brown was dressed like that. And anybody that know Gangsta Brown, especially during his heyday, when Gangsta Brown was on and having it his way in the game, Gangsta Brown, you know what I mean, was a sharp dressing motherfucker. But there's a reason why I asked you that, because so many people don't even know that Gangsta Brown was in American Pimp. Dre is Dre's film with the Hughes brothers, and he didn't even know that Gangsta Brown was in American Pimp. I had to tell him. And you're right, Gangsta Brown gave K-Red the game. A lot of people thought, I'll never forget when I had Gangsta Brown on the channel, and a lot of y'all had the audacity and the nerve to get in my comment section with your fan ass and say some shit like, oh man, you got Gangsta Brown saying that's what's up, man. But where Kenny Red? Where K-Red at? I like Gangsta Brown, he cool, but where K-Red at? And that's what I meant by these movies, by these films. Because I love K-Red, got a lot of love and respect for K-Red. But after American Pimp, a lot of people saw certain people on levels higher even than they mentor, than they teacher. That's just the power of Hollywood. To the squares that didn't know the game, you know what I mean, and never been in it, they would think that Kenny Red was higher than Gangsta Brown, or think that Kenny Red is the teacher to Gangsta Brown, when in fact, Gangsta Brown, you understand me, is K-Red's, you know what I mean, teacher. K-Red was a protege of Gangsta Brown. But when I had Gangsta Brown over here, y'all was sitting over there acting like it was the other way around. I just didn't say nothing. I kept going on like I always do when I see dumbass comments in my comment section. I kept pimping on. But no, you know what I mean? Philmo gave the game to Gangsta Brown. Gangsta Brown gave the game to K-Red. Okay? That's how it go. Okay, so when you see Jimmy Starr, because those was like his two sons. It was Jimmy Starr and Gangsta Brown. That's who Philmo, he gave seeds to other people too, but those was like his two students in the game, Jimmy Starr and Gangsta Brown. And Gangsta Brown went on to produce Kenny Red. So that's that particular family. But I had to get at, because a lot of y'all, and I got a lot of love and respect for K-Red, but come on now. Don't get shit fucked up. Gangsta Brown is still Gangsta Brown. Okay, but now moving on, this is another reason why you hear in the man game, American Pimp influenced so much. Because before American Pimp, you know what I mean? No, Jimmy didn't. That's false news. Jimmy didn't produce. Boss Hogg Rosebud did. And I don't even know them people like that. I just know history. You know what I mean? No. Boss Hogg come from under Rosebud. He come from under his teacher. I just don't like false information. So that's why I have to correct that. I'm not going to ask him nothing. Nigga, I'm Sinful The P. What the fuck? But anyway, getting back to the goodness of his game, people be getting beside themselves. But getting back to this game, man, you know, when you come back to the 15 and $1,600 mark, you got a lot of individuals, you know what I mean, that's 15. Okay, well look, here you go. Like you said, okay, bam, there you go, bro. Blessings. But you know, man, come on, I'm doing a classic and you come in here with all that rhetoric. Be blessed, bro. But that's the reason why you have so many people saying, oh man, you know what I mean, I checked 15 out of it, 16. Even though it had already been going on, but to the square motherfuckers, the squares started saying 1500s because of what they heard payroll say. You had motherfuckers saying they was born to pimp because of payroll. You had motherfuckers sitting up there lying. They didn't check $500 out of the bitch, but now because of the film, because that's a set number in their head, where payroll was like, yeah, I checked like 1,600 out of each bitch. You know what I mean? So of course the numbers was already known to known participants in the game, but the squares was not knowledgeable of, you know what I mean, the vernacular. They wasn't knowledgeable on different numbers. So of course, pimps, they just talking, they just drinking water. You know what I mean? It's regular to them. But to squares, they're like 15, 1600. So when you had individuals that got into the game, they started lying, talking about, people has going on. Oh man, I just checked 15, 1600 out of each bitch. Nigga ain't even checked $500. Hold on. So I just want to give, of course, the good and the bad. And I want to let everybody know why certain individuals be saying this. Niggas ain't even set up there and checked a bus card, a 7-day bus card out the bitch, and they talking about 15 and 1600. But one thing I did like is when Bud spoke on the good days of Hollywood, and he said we was checking so much money that we could actually sit up there and save our $100 bills, you know what I mean, and spend the rest. That's how you know what I mean, the motherfucking, you understand me, shit with this game. That the money was so good that motherfucker was able to sit there and check, you know what I mean, sit up there, you understand me, and send bitches do their thing, but they was able to save all the $100 bills and sit up there and spend the rest. So I could just save my hundreds. Hollywood was cold, man. Couldn't just anybody and everybody pimp in them Hollywood days, man. Pimps was having it their way. Just imagine 40 motherfuckers just talking to themselves, and 10 within the 40, everybody else got Cadillacs in the year, and at least 10 pimps among 40 pimps that's standing outside, you know what I mean? They sitting over there chopping up game, and 10 pimps out of the 40, they got Rolls Royces in the year, and the other 30 pimps, they got Cadillacs in the year. Come on, man. That Hollywood was something else. And for that nigga to say we was having so much money that we could save our hundreds, man, and spend the rest. You know they was having some money, man. Okay, of course, I know a lot of y'all like that part. Of course, when K-Rick was standing in front of that motherfucker White House and shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, man, you know what I mean? Bill just got his knee fixed and everything, you know what I'm saying? I might be able to and go up in there and go knock old Hillary off, you know what I mean? You know, the pimping do wonders, man. The pimping do wonders. So, of course, some might have been saying, but when K-Red said that, that's where originally that be coming from as far as films is concerned. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, you know what I mean? Bill just got, you know what I mean, his knee fixed and everything, man. You know what I mean? I might be able to go up in there, man, say a few words and shit like that, man, and knock old Hillary off, man. You know what I mean? The pimping do wonders, man. Everybody love that part. Because it's true. The pimping do wonders. You know what I mean? This game, you know what I mean? Come on, man, I'm going through the film. It's not that I don't like or dislike anybody. I'm going through the film. Those that know the film know what I'm doing. I'm going from the beginning to the end. Just follow me. Everybody will be included. The game got this. But moving on, of course, then you have the Latrice bitch. And I like what Latrice out of Oakland said. You know what I mean? I do like that. The little broad that was in American Pimp, the little black bitch that be like, some pimps are shady, some pimps are not good, some pimp, yeah, that bitch right there. So, you know what I mean? When she sat up there and said, it all depends on the man that they were before they start participating in the game, you know what I mean? That was the truth. That was the gospel truth. Some pimps are bad. Some pimps are good. Some pimps are shady. Some pimps, you supposed to protect, a bitch from tricks, you know what I mean, from harm's way, and some didn't. That was some real shit. Because if you was a shisty, deceitful, cunning, no heart, no character, principle having motherfucker before you got in the game, 9 out of 10 you're gonna be that same motherfucker when you get in the game. So what she said was the absolute 100 truth. Some pimps got respect for the game. Some pimps are foul. Some pimps are shady. Yeah. I like that. What I didn't like is when they put the Jade bitch, the little pretty bitch that I think was in Carson City or, wherever she was, the little pretty face bitch. I didn't like, when she was defining different pimps, when she was like, you have, the ones that like to push drugs, the pimps that like to, I'm like, wait a minute, bitch. See, and that's what I mean by we have to learn how to talk, okay? Especially on documentaries. Because you have to be conscious of the fact that everybody doesn't know your culture. They don't know the definition of this. So when you say some pimps use drugs to basically manipulate women and keep them in a fog and all of that shit, you know what I mean? You look crazy. That was crazy. Pimps ain't using no drugs to manipulate and control nobody. That was false. So when she began to go through, and then you have your smooth players, your blase pimps, and then you have your pimps that, bitch, what have you done for me lately? And then she's defining different characters. The bitch went on to say, and then you have pimps, they use drugs, they like to keep a woman in the fog, and bitch, no. The pimping not keeping you in no fog. Hit the like button right now, man. Come on, man. We should have been over 300 likes. Get them likes over 300 right now. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video as well. But come on, man. It's 284 likes. Get the likes above 300 right now. But, you know what I mean? I'm like, hold on, man. Who idea was it to put this big head ass bitch in the film? Who idea was this? Because she fucked up when she said this. What pimp is, you mean niggas that profess to be pimps are using drugs to manipulate? Authentic pimps are not using drugs to manipulate anybody. First of all, pimps ain't even using manipulation. A pimp is a man. A man is the truth. The man gonna tell you the truth from the beginning to the 9th inning. Bitch is pimping with me. And there's consequences and adversity, difficulty in the correctional facility, possibly death that come along with fucking with me in this lifestyle. You know what I mean? So you better, you got to know what you're talking about. And she didn't know, man. But moving on. That's why I like when Danny Brown was like, because he said players, but I just looked at it as pimps. But when he was like, players was smooth. They look good. They were intelligent. Smooth when they talk. You know what I mean? Dressers. You know what I mean? Especially when he was talking about, back in the day. Okay, hold on, man. Let me do this for you. Bam. There you go. These All these old Me Too movement ass niggas coming out the garbage can and shit, talking about what is and what ain't. Niggas staying at their mama house where they stealing cable and shit, and they talking about what is and what ain't the pimping. Man, stop it. Niggas that can't even borrow $1 from a bitch talking about what is and who it is not the pimping. Nigga, sit your ass down. But anyway, getting back to this game, I like Danny Brown when he defined, players and really participants of the game to be intellectual, intelligent, made sense when they talk. They wanted to leave a good impression on you. And I like that, wanting to leave a good impression on you. Listen, when you dealing with women, you saw an attractive woman that you desire and she works at a job or she's at a place where you can consistently see her on a daily basis, there's no need to go for the water the first time. Just plant a seed, leave a good impression. And as you get into a continuity of talking to her, then you can bring the water, and the game will bring the increase. So don't try to plant seed and water all on the same day. Don't try to run, to second and third base all the time. Concentrate on getting to first. Sometimes it's just good, to compliment a woman. Not all of this bitch, 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 bitch. But give her a compliment, and hopefully that compliment will lead to a development in the future. But your whole objective is to leave a good impression so you can get into some progression with her later on. It's simple. Hold on. Now, one thing I like, because a lot of y'all thought that Bradley was from Phoenix. Bradley is not from Phoenix. Bradley is from Seattle. Okay? And that's, just to give you squares that don't know, some history, that's little Bradley. You know what I mean? That's little Bradley. That's not big Bradley. Bradley's father was a giant in the game. Okay? Bradley's father was a giant in the game. Lil Brad, did some things, but of course, I'm not going to get into that. Brad had his own personal problems. He had greatness within him. One of the coldest mouthpieces ever. That shit that you seen in American Pimp, that was cool, but I actually did time with Bradley. So, I had the chance to be around him each and every day. So it wasn't a mouthpiece that only conveyed information pertaining to the lifestyle, but man, the man was knowledgeable about life. Bradley had a beautiful mind and still does. You know what I mean? Got a lot of great ways about Brad, but his father was really that dude. Now, you got some that might sit up there and speak their little opinion, but the truth of the matter is, none of them, what do you mean I met Big Bradley? I'm talking about, no, Ken. I met the son, the one that you seen in American Pimp. That's the one that I did time with in the Springs, in Indian Springs, which is in Nevada. So when I was in prison, I did time with the one that you seen in American Pimp. But his father is Big Bradley. So you got Big Bradley, then you got Lil Bradley that y'all seen in American Pimp that y'all was so impressed with and loved dearly because the man's mouthpiece. This is when you know you got a mouthpiece. When you're not counting no money, they can't see no Versace, no car around, no women talking about great, and they feeding you grapes and none of that. You in a dark ass room and it's just you talking and everybody just love to hear you talk. That's when you know you that nigga. It's not because of the materialistic. It's not because of the bitches around you. People just love to hear you, the sound of your voice, your tone, the information that proceeded out of your mouth. They're in love with. You know what I mean? And that was Bradley. Bradley, man, just to give you a little history about Brad, because, man, I could talk all day about prison stories, but Bradley was tearing them boys up in prison. And what I mean by tearing them up, when it came to gambling, Bradley is one of the coldest gamblers ever. Don't gamble against Bradley. Don't sit up there and gamble against that man. He got too much game. Leave Bradley alone when it comes to, yeah, Bradley's still alive. You know what I mean? Leave him alone when it comes to this gambling, man. That's a man you don't want to see gambling. Gambling was so good for Bradley that his room, when he was in prison in Indian Springs, Bradley's room was overpacked with sword because he had got a few niggas, but Bradley was sitting over there tearing them white boys up. You know what I mean? Tearing them up. I mean, really tearing their ass up. Bradley was tearing their motherfucking ass up, you know what I mean, to the point where he had to ask me and other P's, you know what I mean, to carry the coffee back to our rooms because, you know, when you win gambling, whatever you're doing with people, you don't have the receipt. So by Brad not having a receipt, he let it be known like, look, you know what I mean, when we come to Chow Hall, I'm gonna give you some coffee. And you know I'm green to the game. I don't drink coffee. So I'm like, coffee, what I need with that? He like, Sin, man, just sell it. I can't have it up in my room. You know what I mean? So Brad sat up there, you know what I mean, and gave me you know what I mean, of course. Hold on, let me go. Brad sat up there, you know what I mean, and gave me the coffee. He gave cash, Friday, see, Day Skrill was on the yard, but he was in the Oasis program at that time. But it was just different P's, you know, on the yard. But he was tearing their ass up, man. And you have to get rid of that shit simply because when the COs come in your room, if you don't have receipts for the store that you got, they gonna take your shit. So that's why, you know, he had to hurry up and get rid of that shit because Bradley had so much store. You know what I mean? More than he could need or want. So yeah, man, you know what I mean? He's a gambling motherfucker. And his son, rest in peace to City Red. You know, City Red died some time ago. City Red looked just like his father and grandfather. Them were some strong genes. Bradley and City Red look like twins. Okay? You know what I mean? And Bradley looked just like his father. And he produced his son, City Red, that looked just like, you know what I mean, Brad. I did time with City Red as well. I was in CCDC with City Red, and I did prison time with Bradley. So I knew both of them and was around. And as much as I like City Red, and he had ways about him too. Just I'm telling everything in totality. They was different, like day and night in certain ways. A lot of people gravitated more to Bradley than Red, but one thing I liked about Red was cutthroat. If City Red didn't like you, City Red would make it known that he didn't like you. I just liked him because in a lot of certain areas, he was a real nigga. But shout out to Bradley and rest in peace to City Red, man. I like when Brad sat up there and he said, when he was speaking about, you know what I mean, it was like, you know, I ain't never seen no other race, you know what I mean, in this pimping, man. You know, all I know, you know what I mean, is a black man, you know what I mean. I don't think them other races, you know, make a move and shake like a pimp shake, man. You know what I mean, in my opinion. Now, what I will say is I'm not going to say that you can't be in another race and participate, you know, in the game. You know what I mean? But I will say that no, man, you know, just being 100, you're going to really have to prove yourself when you're another race professing to be this pimping. You got a whole bunch of pimping to do. You know what I mean? Because until then, niggas going to look at you like a trick. Okay. Now, this is one important part that I love. This segment was called Pimp Style. And if you remember, that's when K Red was like, you know, the moment I get up, man, you know what I mean, I gotta brush my motherfucking teeth. You know what I mean, I gotta comb my hair, I gotta get in the shower. It's gonna take me about 4 or 5 hours, man, to get ready, man. You know what I mean? Because when I step out the house, man, it's lights, camera, and action, baby. Now, look at K Red's mentality when he's active in the game versus these nasty, ashy, no teeth, got teeth but got plaque, motherfucking Los Angeles Laker, piss stain R. Kelly teeth, you know what I mean, in their mouth. Come on, man. Look at K-Red's mentality and compare it to the niggas today. Niggas actually be going live, you know what I mean, with their teeth fucked up. You know what I mean? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Just sit back and enjoy. But, you know what I mean? I don't know what's wrong with y'all. What is wrong with you sitting over there grabbing the phone, hitting the live button, and you know your breath stank? It look like R. Kelly done pissed all on your goddamn teeth and you just going live and shit. You got niggas that's going live. They got McDonald's bags in the back of the car. Wait a minute. Stop, man. It's called pimping. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Whatever a pimp got on, you make sure that you sit up there and you clean and you representing the lifestyle right. How did we go from motherfuckers talking about, yeah, man, you know what I mean? When I get up, man, you know what I mean? I gotta do my hair, man. It might take me 3-4 hours and shit, you know what I mean, before I get out. Hey, Christy, you know what I mean? But how you go from that to niggas on Instagram and Facebook now going live? And I'm not talking about, you know, because if you on dialysis or maybe you got, because just like I put up a video not too long ago with a partner that I love dearly that, you know, was going through some things. He had kidney failure and before that got into an incident, you know what I mean, and ended up losing some teeth. But I'm talking about these niggas that go 5 and 6 months with no teeth in their mouth. Priorities all fucked up. You in the Gucci store buying Gucci. You in the Louis store buying Louis. But you don't want to sit up there, you understand me, and get you some teeth. You know what I mean? What's up with you? Why? Why? How did we go, you know what I mean, from that? God damn. Pimp sitting over there, you understand me? Yeah, man, the moment I get up, man, you know what I mean? I got to brush my teeth, man. I got to do my hair, man. You know what I mean? It might take me about 4 or 5 hours to get dressed, man, because when I get out, it's lights, camera, and action. Come on, man. Pimp got good hygiene. You cannot profess this pimping and you sitting over there saying that you the ism and you musty? Come on, man. You can't be a musty pimp. Ain't no such thing as a musty pimp. I'll never forget this buffoon, this idiot that think he an OG, but he really a 40-something-year-old kid. But that nigga sat up there out his own mouth, and then he posted the shit on Instagram and Facebook. I'll never forget. Yeah, man, you know what I mean? Even though a motherfucker might not have been able to take a shower, you know what I mean, for the last it was either 2 or 3 days, you know what I mean? But at least my bitch, yeah, you know what I mean? She got a chance to take a shower and she out there with it. Because they was going through it at the time. And let me say this, everything ain't for the internet. If you going through hard times, you and the bitch, and y'all sleeping in your Cadillac or the rental, don't go live on IG or Facebook and tell people that you ain't took no shower in 3-4 days. These niggas is stupid. And then they say some shit like, oh, I'm just keeping it real. No, nigga, you keeping it funky. You keeping it nasty. You keeping it stanky with your stanking ass. You know what I mean? You ain't got no goddamn business sitting over there going live and you stanking. There's no such thing as a stanking pimp. This nigga went 2-3 days without a fucking shower and you gonna post this type of information on social media? Stop treating social media like it's your motherfucking diary. This ain't your diary, nigga. You ain't gotta let Facebook and Instagram know when you holeless and doleless all the time. Just like one other nigga, he used to let YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, him, them, strangers and gangbangers let know that he holeless and doleless. Everybody don't need to know that. Okay? Everybody don't need to know that, man. Tighten up, pimp up. But we don't come out the house musty. We don't come out the hotel, condo, apartment, weekly, monthly, whatever, your rental car, wherever you in. We do not sit up there and come out musty. How you gonna teach the bitch about life and the lifestyle and you got shit in your drawers? You in your 30s and 40s, your 20s, and you still got shit marks and shit stains in your drawers? How the fuck did we go from niggas talking about they gonna go 4 to 5 hours and shit, getting ready to get dressed so they can go outside and campaign, to now niggas that think that they just pimping and they got shit and holes in their goddamn drawers? What the fuck happened? Niggas don't want to keep their nails clean and shit. Got dirt all in their nails and, you know what I mean? Pimp ain't supposed to have dirt under his nails, man. Why your nails look like that? Pimp supposed to have manicure and pedicures, man. Why? Because that, oh man, that's pimping. No, nigga, that's part of hygiene. You keep your nails clean. Pimp ain't got no business walking around with dirty ass nails, dirty ass toenails and shit. No, we don't do that. We don't do that, man. So we got to tighten up. K-Red going talking about getting K-Red, it take him 4 to 5 hours. This nigga taking 300 minutes to get ready just so he can go campaign. Why? Because he feel like the best definition of importance. So he's not about to come outside dusty and crusty. Come on, man. We got to pick this ball back up, man. We can't go back from niggas taking 4 to 5 hours to get ready to go campaign. And then you got niggas that got boo-boo in their drawers, breath smell like boo-boo, outfit look like boo-boo the fool, and they think they just pimping. You cannot be this pimping and you got bad hygiene. You cannot be this pimping and your breath smell like shit. If your breath smell like shit, you shouldn't say shit. If you open up your mouth and it look like a bunch of incidents, car accidents, and crime scenes in your mouth, you don't need to be at a bitch. Because you got a whole bunch of demonic and satanic spirits in your mouth. You need to be baptized with Christ. Let's get it together, man. So moving right along, after that, of course, you got gorgeous Dre. You got Dre all up in that damn closet, man, with them rings on, showing all of them custom-made Versace suits. Come on, man. That man sitting over there, you understand me? Versace this. When he sat up there, I wanted to make, you know what I mean? Hold on. I wanted to make sure that I had the finest, you know, the best cologne. It was all image. You know what I mean? It was all image. Hold on for a minute. Let me see if I can find it for you. Because they done took certain things out. YouTube don't even allow American Pimp to even be on. I don't think they have it. No. I don't think they have it on here. No. I'm not seeing it so far. It ain't looking good, people. They got the extra scenes. They got the outtakes, but not the film. Okay, but when you go back and watch American Pimp, you're gonna see Dre sitting over there, you know what I mean, going through the closet with rings on his finger, just sitting over there, just moving it with the rings. You know what I mean? Custom-made Versace suits. Custom-made Versace suits from Italy. Then he gonna say, he gonna show the Gators. Gators, you feel like you arrived and you know what I mean? I got on $1,000 shoes. See what I mean? You cannot be a pimp and you don't care about how you look. Okay? Think about what I'm saying. You cannot be a pimp and you don't care how you look. I'm seeing niggas going live with hot dog stains on their wife beater. Not looking good, man. This is Boss from Minneapolis. Blessings to the room. Saying I appreciate the gratitude. Thank you for the 10, man. Blessings to you. But when Dre was in his closet, you know what I mean, showing the custom made Versace suits. As a youngster, that did something to me. And then he's sitting over there flicking through it. Then he got the Gators. Each pair costs $1,000 or more. And he just got pairs of Gators everywhere. You know what I mean? By the way, you know, I gotta let you know on everything. When Dre, you know what I mean, was in that car talking, that wasn't his car. He drove a rental for a reason. Those that understand. You know what I mean? He was up in that rental car for a reason because he didn't want them to know the vehicle that he was even driving. See, American Pimp was a blessing to Dre in so many ways because at that time, Dre was really supposed to be doing music. So when they tried to come in on him, you know, Dre was able to show them that he had legal checks, legal income coming from American Pimp. Only thing about American Pimp, they actually had an account because each film, they got an account, right? So that account was called American Pimp Productions. So even though he had legal income, when they was looking through Dre's shit, you know what I mean, they seeing basically checks from American Pimp Productions. You know what I mean? But they couldn't really get into it because it was legal. You know what I mean? Right, I know where you can find the film at, but it's not on YouTube. You won't see it. And if somebody do post it, it ain't going to stay on there long. People have posted American Pimp time and time again, and it always get taken down. You know what I mean? Always. But you see how Dre cared about how he looked? Notice when he said, you have a better chance, you know, of attracting $1 million when you look like it. You know what I mean? You have a better chance of attracting $1 million when you look like it. So that's why it's imperative for every representative, male and female, to look a certain way when you go out the house because you're representing the game. The probability of you generating that type of currency or creating opportunities where you can have it is better when you look like it. So that's why when Dre left out the house, he was Versace'd up all the time. You know what I mean? All the time. All the time. They didn't even know where, a lot of pimps didn't even know where Versace was until Dre. And what influenced Dre one time, I remember I think it was somebody talking to Mike Tyson during an interview, and they had asked Mike, they said, man, Mike, you look sharp, you know, wow, what is that? What you got on? And Mike was like, oh man, you know, this is Versace. This is Versace, only the best where it is. And when Mike said that, Dre stood up there and started wearing Versace. And not only started wearing it, but customized Versace suits. So he brought a lot of style to the game. You know what I mean? A lot of style to the game. A lot of niggas, they didn't even know what that shit was. But we got to get back to that. We got to get back to, you know, representing the game in totality. Because the truth of the matter is, if you even go to when Dre was on the Montel Williams show, you will see Dre talking to Montel Williams, and he said to him, you know, where if a woman is attracted to you, that's half of the battle. So if you're physically attractive and a woman is attentive to you because you're physically attractive, that's half of the battle right there. So now you have a woman who wants to fuck you. Now, you know what I mean? What you need to do is take the game and intensify her desire to go from wanting to fuck you to now wanting to fuck with you. You know? Hold on, there we go. Bam. Okay, yeah, and I like how payroll was like, that's all to catch a hose eye of the gators. You're right. Pimp got tools. So a pimp supposed to come out the house looking like a walking miracle, whether he in a limousine or whether he driving a vehicle or whether he, you know what I mean, whatever he riding in, whatever transportation that he get to the next location, you know what I mean, it's supposed to be fly. Now I can understand that if you in an environment where it's a bunch of, wealthy white people and you don't want everybody knowing your business, so you have some pimps that operate different because they understand that the spotlight is too bright. So you have some pimps that adopted the Rick Ross mentality to basically not appear like I'm getting, the most currency. You know what I mean? You have some pimps, they could care less about jewelry and, Louis and all of that shit. All they care about is property and making their bank accounts go up and saving their money so their money can save their ass, and some make wise investments that lead to lifelong developments. You have individuals that really could care less about materialistic as far as to catch a bitch eye. You know what I mean? He could care less about $200,000 and $300,000 worth of jewelry, especially when he has billions of dollars of jewelry in his mind and it proceeds out of his mouth. He can care less. Yeah, payroll was fine, especially the way he had his hair done. Okay, moving on. Oh yeah, and that was another thing. When Bud was like, you know what I mean, Revlon, bought my nails, you know what I mean, because that come next, and they gonna show Bud sitting down, showing his nails and shit. And I don't know. I mean, a lot of motherfuckers, was talking about whether it be true or not. I'm not gonna get into all of that, but it was fly when you heard it. It was fly as hell when you heard it. Revlon bought my nails. You had individuals that was like going in the street, nails fucked up as hell. Niggas got dirt on. Niggas loved American Pimp so much they was repeating all the lines in the streets talking about Revlon bought his nails. Nigga got dirt all under his nails or some more shit. But they just loved the character of Rosebud in the film. Okay, hold on. And then after they show Bud's nails, and when he said that, then you got Don. You got Bishop Don Magic Juan. There's a picture of him, and he's standing on top of a Rolls Royce at that time. That's when Too Short was like, you wonder why, this guy that you think that's a clown just hopped up in a motherfucking Rolls Royce on your ass. And then they show pictures of Don standing on his Rolls and all that type of shit. The same way that Magnificent was standing on his Rolls Royce when he was out here. May the mercies of God abide and reside on Magnificent. Get him out that situation, man. Blessings to bro. And let me say this. PK, Pimp Kim was very clean in that scene. I just give props when props is due. When Pimp Ken is sitting down, because his parts wasn't long in American Pimp, but he was clean as a motherfucker, in there. Did you see, the suit that Pimp Ken had on with the glasses and he was suited and booted and shit? Yeah, man, he was clean as hell, man. This is during the time when they showing the little players ball and all of that. And also when they go to the little ball, a lot of y'all don't know him, but those that's from Chicago and know Chicago, you gonna see Mr. Rick. It's Mr. Rick. He's in there. King Bert. You gonna see King Bert. You gonna see Mr. Rick. You know what I mean? You just gotta pay attention. Players ballpark come. You'll see King Bert. You're gonna see Mr. Rick. A lot of people didn't know Mr. Rick was in there. Hold on. Now, what I will say is, as much as I loved American Pimp, and it's a classic film, it's a classic documentary. But one thing that I didn't like about American Pimp is the same thing that I didn't like with Pimps Up Hoes Down. Now, Pimps Up Hoes Down, the star of the film is Snitch. Snooki ended up being a snitch, and he was snitching in. He was working with the feds. But a snitch is on the cover of American Pimp, and also in American Pimp, you will see Snooki getting the Pimp of the Year award trophy. Even in American Pimp, Snooki is getting another reward. You're gonna see Ken giving a award to Snooki. Even in there, a snitch is getting rewarded. You know what I mean? Even in there. Hold on for a minute. There we go. Yeah, he did. When you sit up there and go to American Pimp at the Players Ball, you're going to see bitches sitting over there kissing Snooki's ring. You know what I mean? Kissing his ring, and he got the reward. As classic as American Pimp is, a snitch is still getting a award at the Players Ball, and, you know, that shit is sickening. So, yeah, I got to tell you about the good and the bad. You know what I mean? The things that was cool, the things that was fly, the things that was meaningful, but I still have to speak on things that's like disgusting and abominable at the same time. Okay, there we go. Bam. I'm going through the whole film. If you notice, y'all keep asking me about certain individuals that don't come until later on in the film. I'm going from front to beginning. If you've noticed the order, those that know the movie, the documentary, you've seen that I went from Genesis all the way to Malachi. And now I got to go from Malachi to Revelation. Okay. There we go. Bam. Okay, so after the Players Ball part, and we see, Snooki getting his award, Snitch getting an award at the Players Ball, you see the name is internationally known. Bishop Don Magic Wand. You know what I mean? Then the song come on with Curtis Mayfield talking, you know what I mean? And they on the west, it's the west side, the best side. I started back in 1969, I believe. It's back when I wanted to get my feet wet, and girls used to sit up there and want to take me shopping with a check. Hey, that shit had me down laughing. Girls used to sit up there and beg my mama, could they take me shopping with a check? Hey, that shit was funny as a motherfucker. He sit up there, you know what I mean? Talking about it was about 69. You know what I mean? I was young, a little young up and coming in the game, and girls used to have to go beg my mama to sit up there and take me shopping with a check. That shit was dumb as hell. Okay, now we got Curtis Mayfield in the background. Now the pictures. Oh my God! Here I am with Mayor Barron in Washington, and here I am again with Al Green. Here's you right there. Oh, here I am right here with none other than the great Ike Turner. And who is it? Yeah, now me with Donald Trump. That's me and Donald Trump. When I get up, I didn't sit up there and grow up to lawyers and doctors. I grew up next to pimps and dope dealers hopping in the fine automobiles, man. You know what I mean? I didn't sit up there and see that. I like when he come in the house and he say, hello, mother. And I like what she like. When he come home like, he always came home as a nice child. He never came home like he was pimping. He always came home as a nice child. Hey, that shit right there was classic as hell. The Hughes brothers, man, are geniuses. Them niggas, hey, when his mama sit up there and say, you know what I mean? When he was pimping, he never came home like he was pimping. He always came home as a nice child. See, y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. Because when I came around my mama, I did. I always came around as a nice child. When my mama was around the other saints and holiness and things like that, I didn't come around talk about no pimping. I came around, you know what I mean, as a nice, respectable child around my mother and her friends. Just like any other child is supposed to, because no matter how old you is, you always your mother's child. You know what I mean? I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, respectful. When he was pimping, he never came home like he was pimping. He always came home as a nice child. Then he always kissed his mama like, yeah, so after that nigga finished mashing on hoes, smacking the dingleberries out their ass, kicking the furniture out their mouth, you always come back to your mama as a nice child. I loved it. And I loved it when his mama said, the doctor said that he was going to be a special child. What you say the child was going to be? The doctor said he was going to be a special child. Said he was going to be a special child. And then you got Don standing there and shit, in the pictures and shit, looking all young and pimpish. That shit was classic. You know what I mean? Then I like when his sister say, I'll be in the kitchen, just drinking me some beer. I wasn't even thinking about what he was talking about. He'd just be like, and these girls like me, and I'm about to go get me some money. That shit was funny to the motherfucker. And these girls like me, and I'm about to go get me some money. Rest in peace to Ann. I think she passed away. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, that was another funny ass part I love so much. When Don passed the look at here, baby, we got $175 million United Center sitting in the heart of the ghetto, baby. You know what I mean? You always got to go down Madison Street. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. This has been a track. It's always gonna be a track. Hey, baby, yeah, she a hoe. She getting us some money now. Oh my God, that shit is funny. Hold up. Yeah, the furniture. You know you gotta knock the furniture. We got $175 million sitting in the heart of the ghetto, baby. You know what I mean? It's always been a track. It's gonna be a see, you gonna see one of the girls right now. Hey, baby. These niggas was drinking the whole time driving. You ain't lying. Hold on. Right. Now that game I did love. See, it was just so much game given in this shit. I love it when Gorgeous Dre sat up there and he said that every track is different. Okay? And those of you that's in the game, common knowledge, but those that's on the outside or the novices of the game, you don't know that. That's why a lot of y'all stay arrested. That's why you go to new areas and you find yourself in jail. You know what I mean? Because you don't understand that the liberty that you have on one track, that's not the liberty that you're going to have in another. So the same way that you be driving up and down Figueroa and you hollering out your car, you know what I mean? And you just, and the police just letting you pimp. Because anybody that know, you know what I mean, the days in their era, the same way they was like, you know, DC was the fuck open, that's the way Fig is. Niggas drive up and down Fig all day, every day, getting their bitches right in front of the police. And as long as you pimp with your mouth and not your hands, you gonna be all right. You gonna be all right. You gonna maintain your liberty in society, and you ain't gonna be in no correctional facility. You gonna be all right. But the same liberty that you got on the Figueroa, that ain't the same liberty that you gonna have, you know what I mean, in a Washington and Kilbourne. That ain't the same liberty that you gonna have on other blades. So every track is differently, and you have to be able to work differently on the mother track. Otherwise, you're gonna be in a correctional facility. So before you try to endeavor to have a conversation with any female representation, you need to do some observation first and be watchful and be mindful of the fact that there are vice out there, and then there's bitches that's fucking with these Gang banging ass niggas that could get you fucked off and fucked over. I like, hey, I know you guys love that classic part when Charm was like, man, you can just close your eyes, man, and just pick a state, man, and just say like, oh, Charm, man, Magnificent Pimp. Oh my God. We love that part. Damn, man. I done went on 3 hours already. Just that fast. And I ain't even touched, like I told you. I wasn't going, that's why I say part one. You know what I mean? That's why I say part one, because I knew I wasn't going to be able, you know what I mean, to finish everything in its entirety. Hold on. Now, what I will say is international pimping should have been called cross country pimping, because when they labeled it international pimping, nobody was doing any international pimping. They was just cross country pimping. They was just going to different states, but nobody was going to different countries. So it shouldn't have been called international pimping. You know what I mean? It should have just been called what it is, cross country pimping, but not international pimping. But within that, of course, I like when Bradley starts saying that, you know, you could be talking to one of your partners and things can be going slow where you at, and you might be in Frisco, you hit a partner in Hawaii, you know what I mean, and find out that they letting bitches work around there, and you can send, you know what I mean, your bitches over there, put them on auto and send for the troops. I like that because it showed that we have to communicate with one another. The official is beneficial to the official. You know what I mean? No pimp is an island. You know what I mean? And that's why communication is a necessity among this pimping, because, you know what I mean, you could be in an area where things are slow for you, fucked up, or you might just don't have the game on how to get money in that area. Because a lot of y'all, you know what I mean, talk against the location when reality is, it's really not the location. You know what I mean? It's your lack of information on how to get money out the location. And that's the reason why you're not getting no money, because you don't have a game about that area. Or the police just might not be letting them bitches work. And every time they see a bitch, hey man, pimps know what I'm talking about. Real pimps know what I'm talking about. You might send a bitch out, and especially out in that Vegas, when they really got it out for a bitch, man, as soon as that bitch put her feet on concrete, she could get arrested. And the bitch telling you, and she telling honest to God truth, I didn't even talk to a trick. I didn't even have the opportunity to say anything to a trick. You know what I mean? As soon as I put my feet on concrete, as soon as I walked in, you know what I mean? They arrested me and they 86 me, you know what I mean, there. So that's why the official is beneficial to the official. You know what I mean? You might talk to another official pimp and he give you some game, you know what I mean, or some good news about the area that he presiding in right now. And you know what I mean, because of that conversation with the pimping, now you inspired to either put them bitches on auto or go down to that particular state yourself and mash so you can get your money. You know what I mean? So the pimping has always been a blessing to the pimping. I like when Brad said that, because anybody been in the game know that, you know what I mean, man, no man is an island. We a blessing to one another. And then, of course, it showed RP. You know what I mean? RP, you know, a lot of y'all thought RP was from New York, but no, RP is not from New York. RP is from Portland. And I just like, you know, fuck around with New York. You know what I'm saying? You can make you a track. It's tracks all around this motherfucker. You know, man, we ain't gonna be making bitches. They think we making bitches do this and making bitches do that, but we ain't making a bitch do a goddamn motherfucking thing instead of sitting over there making sure that this shit is done accordingly so we can live professionals around here, you know what I mean, like we supposed to, about this pimping. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to RP. $10. Good looking, Marquise. But man, that shit used to have me dying like a motherfucker. That, you know what I mean? She don't know the outs and ins and outs, you know what I mean, around this motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, we ain't making hoes do this, and we ain't making hoes do that. We ain't making hoes do a goddamn motherfucking thing. We just make sure that they do this shit accordingly so we can be like real professionals around this motherfucker, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, RP don't sound like no New York nigga. RP sound like Portland. You know what I mean? RP sound like West Coast. That's not New York. That's West Coast. Those the people that know their accents, you already know that it had to be a mix up. Cause how the hell Gorgeous Dre from New Orleans? You don't hear no New Orleans accent with him, you know what I mean, at all. Anybody know Gorgeous Dre? Dre is halfway Seattle and halfway LA. You know what I mean? And RP, he just Portland. Charm, he's not from Hawaii. He's from Portland. So Portland was really representing that Portland and Seattle was really big, you know what I mean, in American Pimp. Okay, let me see. And one thing I like about, hold on, one thing I like about Charm, man, I like when Charm was sitting over there playing that golf, man. And the reason why I like when Charm was playing that golf because that's not something that you know what I mean is ordinary. You know what I mean, or something that you know what I mean pretty much is familiar. It's uncommon. You know what I mean? You had pimps that was playing golf before Charm. He wasn't the first pimp to play golf, but I like the fact that you know there's not too many. And I like the fact that Charm was playing golf, and you know, what I mean that showed another side of this pimping. You know, that was real classy, especially you know, what I mean, if you from the streets. If you from the streets, you know, what I mean, you from the ghetto. You see somebody driving in a Benz, and you know, a lot of y'all don't know because America didn't show that. But hey, man, Charm was really having it his way, man. It showed bits and pieces, but when it comes to having jewelry in the game, you got to bring up Charm's name. Charm has some cold pieces. Charm has some cold pieces in the game that he pimped for. You know what I mean? He did. And for him to be playing golf and driving that Benz, man, Charm was having it his way, man. Doing his thing. Because, of course, you didn't know that. A lot of y'all didn't know that. But, you know, he didn't have a lot. You know, Charm didn't have a Rolls Royce in the game. Yeah, Charm didn't have a Rolls Royce before, too. And, you know, of course, you seen him in the Benz. But those that's in the streets from that era and those that's in the street now that talk to people from that era, yeah, he was a Rolls Royce riding motherfucker, too. You know what I mean? Hey, good looking, Jay. Thank you for the 10, bro. Good looking. But hold on, I want to make sure different points is brought out. I want to keep. I'm gonna keep going a little bit, but I'm gonna have to stop because I don't want people to be like, "Damn, this nigga talked for 4 hours about." So I'm not gonna try to fit everything. That's why I said I'll just do part one tonight and come back tomorrow and do a part two, possibly a part three, and not try to rush these classics. Hold on. Yeah, and see, especially in them DC days when Dre was like it was wide the fuck open, it really was a blessing in them days, man, because you could not do any hoeing without any pimping. The police would actually ask bitches, who are you with? Or do you have somebody? The police did not like the hoes to be out there in DC with no pimping. And in my opinion, that's how it should be everywhere. Should no woman be allowed to be doing no hoeing without pimping? As Chief said, there's not going to be any killing without killing. Yeah, Sinful The P said, there's not going to be any hoeing without pimping. You know what I mean? That's how it should be. It shouldn't be no hoeing without pimping. It should be totally against the law for a woman to even try to participate without having a respectable, reputable, you understand me, motherfucker, of this game presiding over her. It should be outlawed. A bitch should immediately be trying to get taken to jail without trying to get some money outside of this pimping. You know what I mean? But DC, man, was a blessing to the game. Okay, you will notice one thing I want you guys to pay attention to in that international pimping segment that they really should have called cross country pimping because there wasn't no international pimping going on. But going back to that, you will see when Charm is in Hawaii and he's driving down Cahill and he's sitting over there going up and down, you know what I mean, the blades and shit like that. One thing that you gonna notice is these fine, attractive ass bitches. Okay? Look at the bitches that was working in Hawaii at that time and look at the bitches that's working in Hawaii now. For those that be in Hawaii and see the whole, look at the bitches that's in American Pimp walking up and down the blade and compare it to the bitches that you see in Hawaii now that call themselves hoes. Look at the bitches that work in Vegas during that era and look at the bitches that work there now. Bitches walking around in Hawaii and all up and then in Vegas and casinos coming up in there with flip-flops on, toes ain't even done, bitch feet look like Jodeci boots and she just going in and out of casinos and shit like she's a professional. You know what I mean? Her man is a bum, she's a bum, she more handsome than me, man look a fool. You know what I mean? It's sad. When you look at Charm sitting over there driving up and down, you know what I mean, the blade in Hawaii, notice how them bitches look. Look how they dressed. Look at that proper work. The better the marketability, the higher the probability will be to get you some currency. You know what I mean? Look at how those women look and compare it to these handsome scarecrows, these bitches that got walking car accidents on top of their neck now, they call themselves. It's absolutely sad. Then fell off, not just on the pimping, but the horn as well. Much pimping, much horn. Little pimping, little horn. No pimping, no horn. Okay, what I like about when Bud was sitting down, Rosebud sitting down, and this is during the time they started showing Jerry Springer and things like that. I like how Bud cleared up a lot of misconceptions. I like when he say, a pimp want to get his money first. A pimp ain't sitting over there, you know what I mean, compelling a woman to do drugs or disrespecting his mama or got any hatred towards his mama or any of that shit. Hell no. You know what I mean? Pimp want his money first. If he's sitting over there, you know what I mean, fooling with the dope and all of that shit, the dope man get his money first. So I like the fact that Bud cleared up the misconception on that, you know what I mean, with being heartless, no character, no principle, having motherfucker that hate women, hate his mama, and that's not the pimping. You know what I mean? And that's why Bud said that's why they got to put out that raggedy shit to you and make it look like that's the pimping, because if they put the real shit to you, the guys will be influenced and encouraged to want to pimp, and you will have square women who want to get in the game and do some goddamn hoeing. So that's why they got to push that raggedy shit out there to you like that's the pimping, because they want to discourage you from being in the lifestyle. So they give you a false narrative so you won't become a representative in the game. That's why that is. Because if you knew that pimps are some of the most polished, intelligent, infinite-minded individuals ever to exist, then you would drop your boyfriend like you supposed to and sit up there and do some hoeing like you supposed to. Okay. And I also love when the incomparable legendary Mel Taylor said a respectable prostitute. These hoes, they wouldn't give a respectable hoe. She wouldn't give, you know what I mean, these clowns a dime. She wouldn't give these clowns a dime. You know what I mean? A hoe that really knows this game, that knows the rules and regulations of this game, that know what the game, you understand me, is about, she not gonna sit up there and pay a male actress. Okay? A real official hoe, a hoe that's really down and about it about this game, that's authentic, she not about to play some male actress that's professing pimping that don't possess no game, no pimping at all, some money. She not trying to flush her money down the toilet and give it to a sucker. You know what I mean? So I love when Mel Taylor said that a respectable, you know what I mean, prostitute, a hoe, she not going to give none of these clowns a dime. These guys are clowns. I loved it. Rest in peace to the great Mel Taylor. Okay, Bud said they have to hold on. And I love how Danny Brown cleared that up, because a lot of you guys even bring that to me. And if you want me to do a review on that, all it takes is for enough of y'all to tell me that as well. But if you want me to do a review on Iceberg Slim's book Pimp, I've never read it, but if you want me to read it, I will, and to do a review on it, because a lot of you keep bringing up Ken's book, Iceberg Slim's book, and I can tell by the things that you're saying and doing as well that the book is trash. That, you know, there wasn't no real game in that. You know what I mean? Here and there is entertaining for the most part, but you're not going to be able to create a pimp career and have some longevity in the game off no Iceberg Slim pimp book. Come on, man. You're not going to be able to do that. You know what I mean? I've just got to keep it real. I could just tell the shit that a lot of you guys be saying that you got from Iceberg Slim and you got from Pimp and Ken, that it was trash. With this pimping, it was trash. That shit is trash. No disrespect, but it's trash. Just like Pimps Up, Hoes Down was trash. A lot of these books that's about the lifestyle, these books are trash. You know what I mean? And they're showing you what not to do. It's plenty of game. Okay, well, I mean, I haven't read it, but from the things that people quote and saying that's up in there, and plus when I seen the little film of a guy who was supposed to be another guy that they glorified to be one of the gods of the game, and to end up in this marriage where he's working a job, killing roaches and all of this shit, and his wife talking to him any kind of way and all of that shit, miss me with that bullshit. But if you want me to read it and do a review on that, I will. But you know, that's not pimpish to be allowing my wife to talk to me any kind of way and I kill roaches for a living. I don't know. You know, that's not the way I want to go out. Lord, if that is the end, show me now and I'll stop all of this shit on me. Okay, but I like how Danny Brown said that a lot of guys, you know, read Iceberg Slim's book and they get about a good 2 or 3 years worth of knowledge with that, because it didn't really portray the real deal. So it didn't give you everything in totality. It just gave you a little something, something. Hit the like button right now if you haven't. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and hit the bell as well. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the share button. Share this video all over Facebook. Share it on Instagram. Thank you, man. But, you know, Iceberg is try. Absolutely. How can you be a pimp dope? Yeah, you know, to each his own. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people, they looked up to these people, and these are your heroes. But just in reality, just keeping that shit real, man, that shit is be garbage. But yeah, I like what Danny said. It didn't portray the real deal, the real game, the reality of the game, the consequences that come with it, you know, and certain, it didn't give it everything. It just, you know, it wasn't together. Okay. And then we have, of course, the introduction of the legendary Field Most Slim. You know what I mean? And of course, you're going to have C-Note talking about how he learned about Fillmore when he was in jail. And you know what I mean? That, you know, he had learned about the man because he was a legend. And see, this is what I will say. See, I'm just a man. You know, I wish we had more of that in the lifestyle. Listen, if I've had a misunderstanding with you, or if I just don't like you, I just don't like you. You know what I mean? But one thing I'm not going to do is allow how I personally see you to basically hinder me from giving the truth about, you know, what I'm speaking on. And a lot of you speak on C Note's character in the film. I've heard some people, oh, he was dusty. Oh, he was Mexican pimping. What y'all have to understand is he was young. I don't know why people do that. Why do you judge somebody in their rookie year or when they're a novice in the game as if they're a veteran? When nobody comes in the game with the game. So by you coming in the game, you're predestined to make mistakes. And yes, he did a lot of things that was contrary, just like every rookie, novice, young motherfucker does. So, you know what I mean? Somebody might say, man, that nigga was Mexican pimping. Man, that nigga was sitting over there, you know what I mean, looking trashy, man. He was one of them alley pimps. Man, he was one of them. How was he a pimp? Who was paying him? You have to understand, man, that he was young. He was a young dude. So when you're young in this game, you're going to do a lot of things, say a lot of things that's contrary. But people been saying that. But let me say this. He spoke on how he learned about Fillmore in jail and how he was mesmerized. You know what I mean? He also spoke later on in the film about how Fillmore Slim wooed him. You know, me personally, I ain't never been wooed by another man. I was shocked with that word. But he said that he was wooed. But then again, he's young. So, you know, he was wooed by him. You know, he kept him from violent situations, you know, things that could have led to him going to jail or getting into some other shit. And Fillmore would just, you know, give him some game. You know what I mean? So, you know, y'all, I'm not going to go into that. Like I said, this is going to stay pimpish and stay a classic. It ain't going to turn personal and all of that type of shit. But I love how Fillmore told that story about with Joyce out of Phoenix. There is so much to be learned from Fillmore speaking about, you understand me, that situation with Joyce in Phoenix, because Fillmore said that Joyce and her mother, they was kind of poor, and matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Fillmore met Joyce at a disco. Yeah, he met her at a disco, and they were sitting over there dancing. They exchanged information, and he ended up basically becoming cool with the moms. Now, notice this story that nobody brings it out. You know what I mean? Nobody set up there and speaks about this. Notice how Fillmore sat up there and took Joyce's mother shopping and got them groceries. Okay? Like I told you guys, a lot of guys, it's all about the intent of heart. You got guys that got bitches out here prostituting, and they getting the distribution from prostitution. But they saying, I love you and all of this shit, and his whole intention is to manipulate the bitch so he can accumulate off the bitch. That's his whole purpose of doing that. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's all about the intent of heart. Not so much of just what you're doing, but your heart intent. What is your heart intent? And in that particular situation, Fillmore ain't sitting over there buying groceries to do some tricking. Fillmore not buying no damn groceries for the mom and all of that. You know what I mean? To sit up there and be her lover boy and be some old fun boyfriend ass nigga with her. Fillmore brought groceries, number one, because he's a man, he's a gentleman, and he's a phenomenal, you understand me, young pimp, you know what I mean, that set up there understanding that the catching come before the hanging. So before you try to sit up there and hang something, you got to catch it first. You got to charm and disarm. So, you know what I mean? He was able to charm and disarm the mother, you know what I mean? Because he got some groceries. And plus, what you got to understand also about this story is the difference in era. The era was so different back then. You had women that wanted to be out of poverty. You had women that wanted to get out of the urban community. So any opportunity that came to get me out of this, you know what I mean? And you had mothers that would give their daughters to dope dealers, give their daughters to pimps. And some of these daughters was underage as well. They don't want to talk about that, but it's the truth anyhow. But they gave up their daughters, their teenage daughters, you know what I mean, or even their older daughters that was above the age of 18. Why? To get their daughter out the ghetto. So if you see a fine, attractive black man, you know what I mean, and he got a slick little ride or what have you, and you know what I mean, he got a place out in Hollywood, and he talking about some let's go to Hollywood, you gonna sit up there and let your, you know what I mean, child go with him. I'm not saying every mother, you know what I mean, but let's just keep it real. Hold on, what? They could give away everything. I like all of them. Take whatever. Right on. But you know what I mean? It's just different time and era. It's a whole different era. They wanted to be out the ghetto. You had young men and young women at that time that didn't want to repeat the history of their parents. They wanted to make history. You know what I mean? They wanted to make history, not repeat it. So if you got somebody who comes along with an opportunity for you to get out of Chicago, for you to get out of Detroit, for you to get out of Milwaukee, for you to get out of the ghetto in Seattle or Phoenix and live in a place like Hollywood, and you remember what Philmo said, you know, I told her mama that, you know what I mean, that she could be the next, you know what I mean, some Whitterfield or something. You know, man, I told her mama that she could be a star. She can go to Hollywood and be a star. Mama didn't give her daughter immediately. Then come with me, you know what I mean, right after. But, you know what I mean, 2 weeks later, you know what I mean, it was about, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks later. Hold on. No, it was 3 weeks later, my bad. Yeah, after 3 weeks later, the mother sent her daughter to Fillmore. So the mother sent her daughter to Fillmore Slim. You know what I mean? After 3 weeks. So, you know what I mean? I just said all that to say this, man. You know, it wasn't a lot of, it was here and there, but all of that convincing, you didn't have to really do all of that back then. You had women who were sincere and really wanted to do something. They really wanted to do something, man. They really wanted to be something. Versus the bitches now that y'all trying to get on Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and that's out there now, majority of them are not sincere. They comfortable with being in poverty because they got popularity. And as long as I got 100,000 followers, I don't need $100,000. I just want to feel important. I don't have to necessarily be important, you know what I mean, in the real world, but I feel important because I get likes every time I post on Instagram because I got 100,000 or maybe even 1 million people following me because I'm shaking my ass. So a pimp got to do a whole bunch of convincing today that he didn't have to do in yesterday's time. That's why I take out the time to sit up there and give you young pimps your props. Why? Because a young pimp in today's time, he got to do way more to knock a bitch than what they had to do in yesterday's time. In yesterday's time, not only did the pimp want to be successful, but his women wanted to be sincere. They were sincere. They had a sincere desire to be successful as well. It wasn't just the pimping. You had bitches that would be out there 17 hours a day because they truly had a sincere desire to be successful. period. So when you have, 3, 5, 10 women that want to be just as successful as you, they have a desire, to get out of poverty. Yeah, Jane Mansfield. Yeah. That's what he said. Thank you. I appreciate that, and thank you, Muhammad. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and he is. Phil Mo definitely is a living legend. And anytime you had an opportunity to talk to Phil Mo, you should speak in the language of silence, and you should listen, because Phil Mo can tell you about what was going on in the 50s and 60s. Majority of these guys, just like myself, we can only repeat what we were told or what we seen through video. Hold on, there we go. Hold on. Let me make sure all of your statements are showing. There we go. So, I said all that to say this to you young pimps, man. Because of the laws that's out today, and all y'all got to go through to deal with celebrities getting at these bitches and the local rapper getting at the bitch. These bitches feel that they important without doing anything important to even feel like that. But they feel important because the local rapper or maybe a mainstream rapper just like they video or they in the DM. So the bitch feel like she more important than Michelle Obama simply because, Drake liked the picture. And that's her accomplishment in life. She's willing to put that one like that Drake gave her on Instagram in her whole damn obituary. Real shit. So you young pimps, man, got so much to deal with. But this was just such a beautiful era. You got women that actually want to be successful. You got women that you don't have to pull a arm and go over all of these, give different examples of fight with and contend with, all the time, about this and that and that and this, even though I appreciate that because it manifests as the pimping. I don't, I ain't mad about it. But you had women at that time that once you convinced them, or, women that you didn't even really have to convince, they just wanted to do it because they wanted to get out the ghetto. Man, it was just a beautiful era, man. Them older pimps, if they was to try to come back and pimp in today's era, 9 out of 10, a lot of them would quit, man. They probably try to pick up a job or a dope sack. If they seen the bitches that's out today, and imagine going to a store that you used to buying Louis, you used to buying your size, things that cater to you, things of your preference, and to go to this store and they don't even have your shit no more. It ain't even there no more. Don't you ever say no shit like that in my comment section no more. I'm going to let you stay in here, but Young Truth, don't say no shit like that. No, it's not dead. It's not dead at all. It's existing. It just ain't living the way that it was in certain capacities as it was. But I want you to notice how in that story, because a lot of individuals would listen to that and try to make Phil Mo Slim a trick. And I told you, that no, tricking is, that's that intent. A trick knows what he wants. As a man thinketh, so is he. He's governed by the spirit of tricking. His intentions is to trick from the beginning. And everything that he does, from compliments to financial developments that he's given this woman, he's using that to get between her legs, her mouth, or smell her booty, whatever the fuck he wants to do. But a trick knows that he wants to trick. Just a pimp knows that he wants to pimp. It's the intent of heart. So Phil Mo knew that he was basically charming and disarming the mother, and courtesy would take you a long ways. That courtesy led to him checking currency out that bitch, you understand me, for years. You know what I mean? Some might say investment or whatever you calling it. I won't even say. I just say that Phil Mo was being exactly what a pimp was supposed to do. He was being a gentleman. He wasn't being no trick. You know what I mean? At all. People would call that or try to make that in tricking, and then after they sit up there and say that was a trick move, they'll sit up there and pay for a bus ticket, a plane ticket for a bitch that they never gave them a dime to come to them. So don't be listening to these niggas that be giving all these Oscar award performance on Instagram, acting like they no holds bar with this pimping because they lying. But it just showed you how classy the game was, at that time, and I love it. Hold on, so I like how when they ask Phil Mo, oh, let me give you a backstory. Whenever you see Phil Mo, in American Pimp, when he's sitting down in the chair, and they say, Phil Mo, how many hoes you done had? At the most 22. You know what I mean? At the most, at one time, Phil Mo professes that he had 22 prostitutes giving him distributes at one time. He had 22 hoes. Okay? Okay, man, let me no, don't do that. We in here having classics. I don't need one of them subconscious that think they conscious motherfuckers to sit up there and come in with their little rhetoric trying to spoil things. If you want one of them African Mustafa Neo Soul Afrocentric Jill Scott living my life like it's golden ass bitches, please take your ass outside and go look for Queen of 12,000 Moons. We not talking about that shit right now. We talking about this game. So shut the hell up, speaking the language of silence, and be blessed by this pimping. Okay, yeah, he said that he had 22 bitches at one time, and they said throughout his life about 8 or 9,000. Now, to give you a backstory, when Fillmore is sitting down in that chair that he's sitting in, that's a custom made, chair, Versace, I believe, that's in Dre's house. So when they interviewed Fillmore was in Dre's house in Cahill. I mean, no, I said Cahill. My God, I'm still in Hawaii because of Charm's ass. You know what I mean? But in Frisco, the mansion that Dre had in Frisco at that time, overlooking the city in Forest Hill. I said Cahill, Lord forgive me. But in Forest Hill, you know what I mean? That's Fillmore sitting in the damn chair at his house. A lot of people don't know that. But in Fillmore, when Fillmore is sitting down and he's talking to the Hughes brothers, he's in Gorgeous Dre's mansion in Frisco at the time. If you don't believe me, ask him. He'll tell you. Let me see. Okay, bam. And see, because of course, I can't give it all to you because I already got give you part one, and I'm already more than 3 hours. Yeah, I didn't gave you pretty much 198. I mean, I said 100. Yeah, I'd have shit 198 minutes. Yeah, I'm tripping. I was right the first time. That's not until later on. You see, I'm walking all throughout the film because after Fillmore said that he had 8 9 thousand within his career, then it went on to Gorgeous Dre being in New Orleans when Dre was like, his father told him that you got to be a man of principle, you got to be a man of character, you got to be a man before anything. See, that's why it's undeniable, it's irrefutable and incontestable who the star of the film was, because as far as who said the most meaningful, profound shit within the film, that would be Dre. Now you had Bradley, cold ass mouthpiece. Rosebud, cold ass mouthpiece. Personality like a motherfucker. As far as personality award, that's a battle that's gonna go between K Red. You know what I mean? Of course, you got Charm. You know what I mean? You got Payroll. You know what I mean? But as far as who said the most meaningful, profound shit that resided and abided in your mind, yeah, man, you're going to have to give that to Dre. Because you said you got to be a man before anything. Meaning that, it's going to be some circumstances, in life and his lifestyle, and you're going to have to meet there. You're going to have to meet each prerequisite, each requirement as a man. What's a man? The truth. So no matter what circumstance I'm in, I have to be the truth. I can't be the truth only when a bitch giving me some money. I can't be just the truth when I got nice cars and a nice house and I live in a nice area. I gotta be the truth when the bitch expires and no longer desires to even give me no money. Her giving me money, her giving me pussy, her giving me her good personality, whatever she got to offer. That don't sit up there and dictate what type of man that I am. I'm a man regardless of that. You know what I mean? I am a man regardless of any of that. I'm a man above all of that. I am the truth. Period. And let me go into that, you know what I mean, before I go. I'm going to talk for about 10 minutes and I'm going to end. But you know what I mean? I'm the truth. That don't mean I'm snitching on my niggas. That don't mean that I'm giving you family business and putting the streets in my family business. That don't mean that. But in all other areas and things like that, now if I'm in the courtroom, I'm going to say anything and everything to maintain my liberty in society or to get it back. You know what I mean? That don't mean, I thought you said, you know what I mean, you lied and said that the homie didn't do woo, 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 woo. And you know that he did such and such, such and such. I thought a man is the truth. That doesn't mean that. If we ride in the car, the police pull us over, I'm not going to sit up there and tell on you and say, man, damn, why you tell on me, man? A man is the truth. I had to tell the truth. That's not what I mean by that. Not in those circumstances. You know what I mean? Because in the streets, we got certain guidelines that we follow, rules and regulations that we follow in the locations of the streets. So I have to put it in simplicity because no matter how good you teach, somebody will walk away with the wrong devilation. And that's not the information that you was given, but people will walk away with the wrong interpretation of what you was saying. But no, I'm not going to tell on my nigga. I'm not going to tell on my nigga, and I'm not going to tell on my enemy. I'm not going to tell at all. I got my principles, the principles that I live by. It won't even allow me to accept money from a bitch that snitched on my enemy. If I find out that this bitch gave up incriminating information that led to my enemy going to incarceration, you know what I mean? I don't want nothing to do with that bitch. I totally abhor snitching. I'm against snitching. If it's too many reputable, respectable motherfuckers in the street coming on one accord saying that this individual is a snitch, if visual and audio, and let me say this to you, goofy, lame, green, acting like you Harvard University pimps. Let me say this to you. In every situation pertaining to snitching, paperwork is not going to be presented. Some people try to hide behind the paperwork thing. And let me tell you something. Just like with Keisha calling the people to try to get me arrested, and he put the video on his page, just like when he's endeavored to get Ken locked up, Gov and different ones locked up. Why would you need paperwork when the individual basically snitches in front of your face? The fact that certain people try to manipulate you, that lets you know that they think you're a goddamn idiot. In every situation, the paperwork ain't gonna be there. It's some known snitches out here, and it ain't no paperwork on them. You got confidential informants out here. So you can't say, oh man, you know, we didn't see the paperwork, so woo, 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 woo. You know when a motherfucker telling. I seen a damn video of a nigga sitting over there talking about some, yeah, man, I'm just glad that I never was in a situation where I had to snitch. You know what I mean? Man, you know, I'm glad that, what you mean you glad that you ain't in no situation where you had to snitch? When you a man of the truth, when you govern by the principles of this game, it don't matter what circumstance that you in. If God had allowed you to be in a circumstance, you was going to be the truth in any and every circumstance if you're a goddamn man. So some of these guys that say that they pimps or whatever, they need to be quiet. And making statements like that, I can't roll with a nigga like that. I can't campaign with a nigga like that. I don't want to be around a nigga like that. I'm not going to answer the phone for a nigga like that. Why? Because I don't need paperwork to know that you a snitch. You let me know that you a snitch. Any nigga that say out of his mouth, say, I'm thankful that I wasn't in this circumstance or this situation, or, you know, I'm thankful to God that whoop, 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 or I'm thankful to the game that I wasn't in this circumstance, or I'm thankful that I wasn't in this situation and all of this shit. He letting you know that he a tell. You can't trust that individual. That's why you got to be a man before anything. A man's position, a man's principles, a man's standards, it don't change because it's circumstance. Being a man is a position. Your position does not change once you sit up there and you faced with certain charges. So when a motherfucker says some shit like that, you stay away from him. You got to be smart to be out here in these streets. You got some people that's using second and third grade manipulation tactics and they think they slick. Oh man, if ain't no paperwork, woo, 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 woo. Man, there's a lot of motherfuckers that done told Snooki was working with the feds and the paperwork wasn't on the streets. But certain niggas knew that Snooki was working with the feds because when Snooki got into a damn fight with Ken's brother, and supposedly when he got knocked out, it was wires on him. You know what I mean? Let me put that up there. There you go. Bam. Make sure your comment's showing. But we don't make justification for not being a man. If you know that a person is snitching, why do you need paperwork to solidify that? Now, what I will tell you is, don't get into some evangelism with the criticism on that person's name until you got some type of confirmation, you know what I mean, to confirm that. But if you know the spirit of pimp and the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of ism is dealing with you, and you didn't learn and discern the spirit of this fraudulent individual, stay the fuck away from him. You know that he not no man. You got to be a man before anything. Yes, I like the Versace clothes. Yes, I like the cars and the fast talking and the women and all of that shit. But what I loved about the film the most is when that man said you got to be a man before anything. And I loved it when they asked him, well, how do you feel about, about the things you lost? Well, if I haven't lost being a man, I haven't lost anything. So, you know what I mean? Of course, I'm always going to remember what he said, because throughout the whole film, nobody said anything that was more important or meaningful than that right there. Period. You know what I mean? Period. Let me do this for you. Baby, I could care less about your wet dream right now. I'm talking about this game. You need, let me put you, let you cool off. I'm speaking about this game. I'm on fire with this game right now. I don't want to hear about your little pussy getting wet. You take a 300-second time out and you think about that and put your little pussy in the corner. Yes, he does. But I said all that to say this. You know, beyond the fact that a person is pimp this, mac this, player this, whatever his title may be, make sure that he's a man. If he's not a man, don't be in the streets with him. You cannot afford to campaign with males that profess to be men. You cannot sit up there and do crimes with males. It's best to do them by yourself, but if you're going to do something where it got a group, put some men with it. You know what I mean? Not no male. Got to be a man before anything. I respect them for that. You know what I mean? Hold on. Before I wrap, all these guys making justification for some behind the door slick shit that they done did. Then you got some, they ain't did no snitching, but they done did some other abominable ass shit. So they sitting up there gotta hide their tail. The enemy know he can put out whatever he want on me. I'm not flagging none of your videos, your channels. Speak about me to the day that you die. I want you to be my marketing team. You do what the fuck you supposed to do. I'm the best definition of important. You supposed to talk about me. What else the fuck you supposed to talk about? But I like when he said you got to be a man of some integrity, because Mel Taylor said you have the way that you, when you present yourself a certain way, you got to stay that way consistently, because that's the way that you're going to be judged. So if you present yourself to be a man, that should not change in any circumstance. You say you're a pimp. We know one of the requirements to be that, to do what's vital to that title, you got to be a man. So that should not change when a bad circumstance comes. So, you know what I mean? Of course, by it being, you know what I mean, 210 minutes, I'm going to pause for the calls here and come back on tomorrow to do part 2. You know what I mean? Because I can't fit all of American Pimp and give a review. I'm going in and out. This is a classic. Whenever I do a review, I do it from bottom to top, from scene to scene, from here, what I like, backstories, and I haven't even gave you all the backstories yet. But I want you to share, you know, this video. I want you to like this video, you know what I mean? And hopefully I can get through it tomorrow, you know, all of it. I'm going to start early in the morning. I'm going to go live about 12 o'clock noon. You know what I mean? So I want you guys to be there at 12 o'clock noon. And, you know what I mean? I want you to meet me, man. You know, I need everybody to do me this favor. Derek or Tony, yeah, Tony will do it for me. Tony, sit up there, bro, and go get the links to all my channels. You know what I mean? And just post them in the comment section and let them subscribe to all my channels. I want you guys to subscribe to Blade Music Videos, because that channel is the only channel that frees ZZ that they took from his channel, but it's on my music channel. You can hear that anytime. And plus, like I told you, Blade Music Videos is the channel where pretty much we playing nothing but music for pimping and horn. And as far as my Game for Ladies channel, fellas, you don't have to come. But ladies, I want all of you there. Fellas, you can stay your ugly ass at this channel. But all of the ladies, I want you to click on channels, and I want you to subscribe, you know what I mean, to my channel. Period. I want you to subscribe to all my channels. Click on those links, hit the subscribe and bell button. Also, if you desire a consultation, you can go to my website, www.sinfulthep.net. Hit the consultation, hit the consultation button and make an appointment, and we'll chop it up, you know what I mean, whenever you have availability. That We Are the Champions, man, he killed that. But I want you guys to go to Blade Music Videos. Make sure you subscribe there. Make sure you go to Sinful The P Views channel. I want you to subscribe and hit the bell there. I also want you to go to Blade Music Videos. I want you to go to Gorgeous Dre's channel. I want you to subscribe so you can see Daily Fire. I want you to put in FREEZEIZIT. And I want you to hit the subscribe and bell button over there. Let me see. Can someone tell me how to do that so I can be a better mod? I'm learning as I go. Derek, all you would do is simply just click on channels, and you could have went to channels, and once my channels appeared, click on that, and all you have to do is click on the face and take the link from the channel and copy it and just paste it right here in the comment section. It's about as easy as that. You know what I mean? So there we go. Oh, okay, okay. But make sure before we leave, man, that y'all hit the like button before I go. Subscribe. Make sure you share this video. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I will be back tomorrow at 12 noon. And I'm so thankful. And some of y'all, probably later on tonight, I'll probably go live on Instagram with Freeze and talk some shit. You know what I mean? But I love you guys, man. Tune in tomorrow, part 2 or part 3 or whatever, man. But I love you guys. Be blessed. I hope you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live. Stay blessed. One.